we open this scene with um, all of your characters frozen in stasis pods. Um, the small chamber in which a dozen stasis pods are contained is cold, it's dark, and at the moment, all of you are sleeping. It's about as quiet as the dead as well. First to awaken is 0x104. And let's see, do we have 0x104 there? Yeah. Okay. Her chamber hisses. The destasis procedure begins, and she is released from her stasis sleep. She doesn't remember anything. She has knowledge. Um, she knows, where that she is in a stasis pod. She knows that she's in some kind of room. She has things that has knowledge of learned information, but doesn't know who she is or what she's done or anything about herself. There are no experienced memories in her brain.
What sort of clothing am I wearing?
The stasis doesn't have any rule specific requirements, except you can't wear bulky armor. Um, most people enter stasis pods in casual clothing. You cannot take baseball bats, I'm sorry.
So is she
Well,
just
I
wearing
resent this rule.
is she just wearing like normal clothes then?
She's just wearing like normal clothes.
Um, is the pod open?
The pod's open.
And
Sure.
what's the room like? What's the room like that I'm in?
Well, it's dark. The only thing that she can see as far as lighting is soft, the red emergency lighting that is fading, and a soft normal illumination is slowly rising. There's a door out. It looks like she's in some kind of metal can, but she actually can't tell if she's on a ship, or if she's in a building, or maybe she's in some can of some sort. It is definitely silent except for her breathing and her heartbeat.
Is there any form of identification on me? So I have like a. She'll begin like patting down her pockets and her chest just to see if she can find something that would identify to remember who she is.
She does not have any kind of identification on her.
I
Nothing.
guess she'll just.
I should have said that the stasis pods really only take fabrics and
Okay.
peoples. At some point, I'll figure out
Yeah,
what the stasis pods use.
She'll slowly like crawl out of the stasis pod and try not to throw up.
Okay.
And she just like look around the room looking for any other sign of life, really.
Well, there are 11 other stasis pods. In those, there are four other apparently living people. She can see that 3 of those 11 stasis pods appear to have been opened and were not closed. And the other 4 are closed and inactive. As she's looking around, She hears the hiss and release of acid, air and gases. I was trying to combine that word. Didn't turn out so well.
Is that another stasis pod opening?
That's another stasis pod opening. This one is 255. Lucky Lulu.
Air is
I'm gonna-
gas now.
I'm gonna pretty much walk right in front of this one and try and help the person.
Okay.
It's probably a good thing. As his eyes snap open from the stasis, he just starts. He almost immediately just doubles over coughing, and almost collapses outward as as he struggles to climb out of the pod, falling. I guess into into 104's support.
Yeah. She'll catch you and kind of like slowly pick you up, and she says, "Hey, finally awake."
Where are we?
Beats me if I know.
He'll sort of struggle to his feet, giving you a little nod of thanks, and then just looks around the room very intently and very focused. Stasis chamber. Why don't I remember anything? He'll just, I guess, pace around the room, looking in each one of the stasis pods in turn, shaking his head, and not, is there any identifying information on or next to any of the pods that might indicate who their contents are?
The only kind of identifying information you see is the kind of serial number, the sequence number on each. 0x104 came out of a stasis pod that has a sequence ID 0x104. The same with 255.
So,
What do you know about this? Any of this?
she kind of you see, she kind of steps back and like looks around the room. She looks at her hands and like clenches them into fists, and then she pauses for a moment and looks at you and focuses her eyes and narrows it very intently. And I'm going to use my telepathy as she kind of feels this force within her, and she's trying to figure out what the fuck it is. So she's going to commit effort for the day. Sorry, it's day at level 0. I forgot. Commit effort for the day, and I'm going to read his emotions.
Okay.
I'd say he's certainly confused. Certainly confused and a little worried, but also not as much as you might be expecting him to be. He's more focused on his curiosity. They're trying to understand exactly what's going on than actually worried or panicked. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As you're reading, the next pod opens, 291.
I'm going to do the same with 291. I'm going to walk over and be ready to catch them.
I just turn my head and watch as the pod opens.
So as I'm actually as I'm walking over to that pod, I'm going to look to 255 and say, "Hey, there's one more pod to open, isn't there? Other than this one." 713. That's the last one, isn't it? After 219. So I'm going to tell 255 to go over to 713 and say, "Just wait for them. I think they're going to open next."
There's also a 872.
Oh, an 872. Yeah. So
Yeah, sorry, I miscounted. We've got 5 human characters, so there are 5 pods occupied.
So yeah, I'm going to tell 255 to go wait by 713 and say, "I think they're going to open next. I think we're in order."
And just take a deep breath and give her a nod and start walking over that way.
Sorry, continue.
So are we laying down in these pods?
They're standing pods.
Okay. So I'm gonna fall out of the pod.
I'll do my best to catch you.
And then when I assume you catch me. I'm gonna say, "Do you have any water?"
No. I don't have anything.
Really go for a drink.
Well,
I thought,
you
I
may
don't
be
think a
able
drink could help at a time like this.
Perhaps you could lick some of the ice off the pod.
I look at it. It's a stasis pod, not a.
Yeah, it's actually
not
a
a
stasis pod, not a
popsicle.
cryo.
Okay, never mind then.
I'll look to 219 and say, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Do you remember anything?
I think I remember how to fix this thing, but I don't remember why I know that.
Interesting.
And also, who am I?
Well, judging by your pod, you're 219. Nice to meet you on 104.
Oh, that's a shit name.
You said
The
you
only
know
name we've got right now.
how to fix these things.
Yeah, I think so.
Biographical information lost, but retaining skills. Interesting. He's not really looking at you as he's talking to himself. He's examining the person in the next pod, but he is mumbling to himself with as you tell him this.
Okay, I'm still leaning against 104, so I'm gonna kind of. What's up with the weirdo?
Which one is 291 pointing at? Which one's weirdo?
The one not looking at us and mumbling. 255.
Oh, we're all a little bit hazy right now, I think. It's very, very disconcerting.
Fair enough. And I'll pull myself off of her and stand up on my own.
104 goes over to the second to last pod along with 255. 713 opens up.
Are they like? Do they force you to fall out if it opens, or is it
does
kind of
not force
angled?
you. No.
He like as the pot opens and like everything comes back to him, like his sight starts coming back, like just that feeling of probably being asleep forever. Like he'll try and move, but his body probably doesn't work as efficiently as it once did, so he kind of collapses out of the pod as well.
All right, I sort of catch him, keep him from hurting himself.
Yeah, 104 helps also.
Do not strain yourself. Stasis, waking up from stasis can cause much strain on your body. It is best not to rush into anything. give you time to get your balance.
Oh, waking up from what? What?
Stasis. And I nod at the pod.
I can't tell if Monos is back yet, but I'll continue to...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, very good. I will back off then.
You've been asleep, probably for a very long time.
Are there control panels on these?
Uh-huh.
Can I attempt to access?
What do you want to do with the control panel? It's not locked, it's open.
Find the program that was just running and find out how long it's been running for?
Which one are you going to?
Mine.
Okay. Well, you can see that the present date is September 17th, 3250. And,
Oh, my birthday.
oh, convenient.
No,
Yeah.
no, that was an in-game joke.
Oh, sorry.
What was the date?
Hold on, you remember when your birthday is?
Yeah,
This might be important.
look, I don't remember my name, but my birthday. No, of
All
course not.
Okay.
I'm gonna look to 713 and say, what do you remember? Do you remember anything?
872's pod is hissing and preparing to open.
104. Can you get them? I'd like to make sure this one doesn't have any trauma from the stasis pod opening first.
She just kind of nods and kind of jogs over to 814's pod. Ready to catch them.
Quick aside. Quick informational reports and questions like that are one of the few things that I do put into Roll20.
Okay.
Because I know that we're all literally looking at that.
And I guess the control panel didn't say how long the subject had been in stasis.
It should, and 291 is currently clicking through that panel.
Okay.
As 872's pod opens and 872 wakens from stasis, 291 finds that the pod that she's looking at went into stasis on March 7th, 3250.
How long's that?
About 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and I share that. I'm like, oh shit, 6 months.
As you say that, 104 kind of looks at this. Well, that's a relief. I thought we were here for a few years.
No, it holds up with the physical condition of all of those who have awakened so far. If it was longer, we'd expect more.
Freezer burn.
I guess you could call it that.
Alright. Everyone is awake except for poor 577 over there, but Myri knew what to expect.
Or did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
871 is a. I kind of look at them and I assume that they've woken up now.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Was it 871 that just woke up?
7-2.
872, yeah.
872. I looked at 872 and as they kind of wake up, if they fall, I catch them. If they don't, I just kind of like steady them and take them off the pod and kind of rub their shoulders and like, you okay? Are you awake?
Well, he's gonna pop.
believe that is a yes.
He's gonna pop. Get him a bucket.
Just gone.
No,
Step
no,
back and
no.
rub
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. What? Where the hell are we?
We're trying to figure that out. I'm 104. You're 872. It seems the only name we have on numbers right now.
The hell? I'm definitely not a number. What? Who am I? What?
Exactly. We don't know. For now, let's just stick to the numbers. It's easier.
You have been in stasis for at least 6 months. I imagine you are experiencing a loss of all biographical information.
Oh, great, Doc.
Let me see your hands.
Why?
Just raise them up.
What the? Okay, here.
Okay. Now. Alright, I examine them. And say, now. Calloused, mildly. And then I guess, just snap my fingers really close to his eyes to see how he reacts.
I immediately would try to choke you.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, 104 is going to pull them apart and be like,
That is enough.
Yeah, 104 pulls them apart. He's like, whoa. Don't. Calm down, okay?
The fuck? He's trying to do something in front of my face! Surely I tried.
Enough. Imagine you're some sort of soldier, perhaps a mercenary. Very quick reaction
872.
time, and a very
872.
strong grip.
Yeah, 872's built quite well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you for pulling him off of me. Now you need to remain calm. None of us knows what is going on, so we will have to work together.
Then don't try to do anything in front of other people's faces. Otherwise the work won't go that well.
I needed to determine exactly what your body remembered, even if your mind doesn't.
Yes.
Well, hopefully you know that now.
Yes, I suppose I do.
I'm gonna look to 872 and say, what do you remember about your combat abilities? You seem
Nothing.
like you know how to handle a few weapons. Do you reckon you could if we find one?
I've absolutely no idea. How am I supposed to know that?
You look like you can handle a weapon. DM, is there like a metal bar or a pipe anywhere?
No, there's not.
Perhaps it's not a good idea to hand the man a weapon so soon after awakening. He still seems to be suffering from some.
You're gonna be
Psychological
suffering something.
Yes,
I'm completely
that is,
fine.
That is exactly why I'm worried about the weapon thing.
I assure you, you're the only one who will be in danger if I get a weapon.
This is not particularly reassuring.
I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to commit my last point of effort for the day and try and read this guy's emotions because I can see he's very clearly erratic.
Oh, good, it worked.
Vision, go ahead and describe what 872 is feeling in the context of level 0 telepathy. It's primarily just emotions.
Yeah. Confusion and anger at who's the doc? 255, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yeah. hate and anger.
Okay, so
Not rational, but more furious.
and since that's an intense emotion, it almost certainly gives an image of the Doctor as he was leaning into 872.
Well, what?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what you said, Dex.
Oh, I said because that was an intense. Am I cutting out at all?
No, I just
Oh.
blanked for a moment. It's very early in the morning for me again.
No worries. I said that because that was a very intense feeling, as Vision described it. This is really only information that's relevant to Monos. Then it would almost certainly have been attached to the image of 255's face as he was leaning in to 872.
Mm-hmm. Well, it matters little. Just stand there for a moment and breathe. I'm going to go examine. I go to examine the door to the room.
The door begins to open for you. Meanwhile, 291. You find some unusual alterations to it. The original timer was set for March 28th, just 3 weeks after you went into stasis.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So we've been asleep for 5 months more than we're supposed to.
You've been asleep for 5 months more than you were supposed to, and following that thread, she is able to see where oops. On March 21st, 2 weeks into stasis, all timers were reset to 3251 0321. Sorry, I knew that was wrong. 3350 0321. They were set 100 years.
2 weeks after we went under.
2 weeks after you went under, they were set for 100 years, or reset to a 100-year timer.
But they went off, or they went off early.
They went off early.
Hey, Doc.
Hmm?
Hey, what would be the effects of 100 years of stasis on a human body?
Unpleasant.
I think somebody tried to kill us.
I think somebody
Probably
definitely
not kill. Probably not. I mean, you'd probably survive, but it would not be a pleasant experience awakening. What? Wait. You said they were set for a century?
Mm-hmm.
So why are we out now?
did. Something's
Did-
gone wrong.
Do these alterations have any kind of fingerprints on them?
They did not.
Were they were made by the administrator or something?
They were.
A login or something?
No, there was no login for it.
No, okay.
Did it say what caused the early ejection from the pods?
Did it say?
There's something else going on in the background that 291 isn't quite able to figure out.
No.
She thinks it might have had something to do with the early ejection, but that would be a guess based on, hey, there's something unusual going on.
Yeah. 2 unusual things at the same time is not a coincidence. 3 is woof.
Alternative access. Well, obviously, whoever input the code to have us sleep for a century did not intend us to be ejected now. Multiple programs, perhaps?
Well, the good news is whoever it is had to have access to these. Are these? Before I say this, are these panels hooked up to like some kind of internet?
Um, not that you can see. They're self-contained.
Okay. Yeah, somebody, whoever did it, had to have physical access to the old Panero.
713 stands to his feet. Well, that means they might be on board still. Let's go find the rest of the crew. And he starts
Doors
walking
open.
for the closest door.
Silent
we
outside.
do not know if we're in a ship, do we?
No.
Not yet, anyway.
That's correct.
Although a picture of a ship just appeared, so
Yeah, that does seem like a good hint. I think the strangest thing though is that we all seem to be suffering the same symptoms of awakening. This is not common. Why do none of us remember any biographical information? This is a question we need to ask. I do not think it is directly related to the stasis.
As you look outside, it does become more obvious that you are on a ship just by the design. This is clearer to 104, 713, and 872, and so this information is for them. The environment that you're in, while clearly being a ship in design, is also unusual. It looks a little bit more advanced than you feel like it should, based on, having no memories or anything to compare it against. And 713 and 872 particularly feel like, hey, this is some kind of military vessel based on the way the walks are designed, the walls, the access panels. But again, you have no actual memory that you can refer back to guide why you think that.
So it does give off a kind of a familiarity.
It does.
Where are we on the ship?
The map is actually of the level above you. But
Okay.
I wanted to give some kind of representation because the shape of it stays the same at all three levels. But above you, below this level, you are approximately over here.
Okay, 713 is looking for some kind of. I feel like it's probably one directional, either forward or backwards, if we're not enclosed in a room. So he's
the
just
hallway goes to either side.
okay. Yeah, he's just looking for any kind of symbols or signage that points to where they're at or where he's going. And he'll look for the exit and try and leave to find either another person or some kind of bridge or command center.
Okay. You can see that you're walking past some med bays. The stasis pod is right near there. And as you get out of the stasis room that's been, well, perhaps better sealed than other parts of the ship, you're now starting to see the dust of 6 months. 6 months in space, so there's not quite as much dust as it would be if it were a building on a planet, but there are still signs that this ship, or at least the hallway that you're traversing right now, has not been used for quite some time.
And you said it looks like. All right, I'm sorry. Looking out the window, does it look like we're in space?
You don't see any windows where you're at, and
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said we looked out a window earlier.
oh no, I may have said window in reference to a stasis pod, but no, you don't
Okay.
have immediate access to any windows right now.
Got it.
In fact, this ship has like 2 windows, and they're all on the bridge.
All right, I'll kneel down, feel the dust, and just sort of rub it between my fingers. I think this facility, whatever it is, it looks abandoned. And there goes Manos.
Is there a sink in the med bay?
There is a sink in the medbay, and Vision, I'll answer your question here. Um, there were no cameras in the stasis room, but there are cameras as you go further into the ship. There's a camera observing the hallway. There's a camera in the medbay. It's looking more and more, especially again to 872 and 713, like a secured military ship of some advanced design that feels both alien and familiar.
Can we tell whether the camera is active? Is it moving, or is a light seen in the camera, or is it inactive? Or are we not able to tell it?
Is it
There's
following our movements?
Yeah, there's generally no indication of whether a camera is active or not.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not like moving or anything.
That's correct.
All right. And let's see. Remind me where the med bay is in the ship, or just like click on the.
About right there.
Okay, so up front, up towards the ship.
Yeah.
I need to look up naval terminology again. Wow.
I believe that is 4. Or forward.
I'm gonna go take a drink of water from the sink.
Okay.
Cupped hands.
The water comes out very slowly.
Hey, does it worry anybody else that the ship situation's very still? Don't these things normally move a little bit?
If it's accelerating.
Well,
If it's constant movement, we wouldn't be able to detect it.
Uh, 872 feels like if the engine were running, and this is again only 872. If the engine were running, there'd be some kind of thrum, very low but noticeable.
and do I notice that?
You do not notice that.
Nah, we are not moving. As far as I can tell, it could even be that we are on a planet right now.
Let's see. We should make our way to the bridge. Perhaps there's information there that we can't see from our current position. Maybe something that could tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, good idea. Maybe we should also check out the armory.
Well, I have no idea where that is. But
Would I have a feeling where it would be?
I'd assume that.
Not in this one.
Okay. If it's an odd ship design, you might not know. But the bridge should be near the 4.
Is there any indication of which way that is?
Not really.
Yeah.
Let's try walking towards one end of the ship, and I will flip a coin to say which end of the ship it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I'm walking towards the rear of the ship.
Hey,
Apparently.
All right.
Where'd you get that coin?
Let's see. Is anyone following?
Yeah.
713 already took off in probably the direction he felt was the best, and that would be, I guess, anywhere up and towards the front of the ship.
Okay. He still has a little difficulty discerning which way should be towards the front and the back of the ship. It's not difficult to figure out which way to either side of the ship because the ship is much narrower. But the ship is 120 meters long.
All right. It's decent. It's not exactly well. Hold on.
Let's see who's going with whom. We've got 713 who has already kind of started off in one direction. We'll say that 291 or not 291, 255 went the opposite direction, or was the coin flip based on not realizing that 713 had already moved in a direction?
Yeah, if somebody's leaving, I'm going with them. No coin flip needed.
Yeah, I'd also go with the others.
So there's two sides that are leaving. 713 started off a little bit sooner than Lou got to his description. Lou, are you still going the other way?
And unless anyone stops, unless anyone tells me I'm going the wrong way, because I don't know. I just picked a direction and started walking.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking is there was a little bit of a retrocon there. And that it kind of went under the radar when 713 started walking in the opposite direction.
Yes. Okay. I suppose we probably want not to get split up or him to get killed while we're exploring. So let's go after them.
Okay.
In that case.
All right. So is everybody following the direction that 713 went to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You reach eventually a let's see. You actually reach a handful of little engineering sections. There is probably a ladder, either up or down, at one of these points. But as you're traveling through the ship, you're seeing that it's more than just still. It's like the ship has been killed from the inside. There are systems that appear to have been damaged from some kind of internal calamity, as well as clear signs, at least I have to get my list of peoples up, at least clear to 291, very clear to 291, that somebody has scavenged this ship. There are bits missing that don't go missing just from damage to the ship. Expensive bits.
Yeah, it looks like somebody had a bit of a nick.
If someone scavenged the ship, why were we left?
Humans are expensive, mate.
Precisely.
No, to take care of.
Oh yeah, yes, but I suppose you could. Well, I was going to say harvest their organs and sell them in the black market for a decent penny, but
I'm a little bit afraid of you now.
There also were 3 pods that had been in use and deactivated. There were 4 that were completely inactive, and 3 that had recently seen use and were deactivated.
Someone woke up before us.
But
how long before us?
Yeah, that would have been clever to find out.
We should glance again when we return. For now, engineering. I'm afraid I don't know much about ships. Would engineering be towards the fore or aft?
It depends on the ship, and I'm answering this.
I'm asking the other players.
Oh, sorry,
Dexter.
I will keep out of it until somebody says my name.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't the fire generally come out the back?
If it's a combustion engine, I assume. Would there even be fire in space? Well, I didn't get my degree in this. I do feel like I have a degree. That's something. I suppose that is useful information.
A degree of pompousness.
There is a
This isn't
sign
time.
saying to bridge deck. It is up a ladder.
Oh, well. that is-
Going.
That's extremely useful. Let's go that way.
Okay. It brings you up to a little ready room. Looks like it's also been scavenged.
There's no fabric on the chairs.
There's nothing valuable. The chairs have been left intact, however.
Look like the things they couldn't take, they broke. Or more like they just took what they could.
It looks like they just took what was valuable, regardless of whether it would break something or not.
Gotcha.
Now, does it look like there were signs of combat, or does it look like all the damage is just from scavenging and neglect?
255 isn't really too sure. There's no obvious signs of combat.
Right.
There's no bullets or casings or laser burns.
Right.
Do we see whether the people who took everything were in hurry, or did they take their sweet time by using tools to scavenge whatever?
That would be a fixed check to investigate that.
Okay.
Fixed intelligence.
I hope we're on a planet or they left the doors.
It's hard to say. You can tell that tools were used. Can't tell to what degree of speed, urgency, or skill.
Hey, what do you think? Were the people in hurry here? Anyone who feels like he'd be better in?
I mean, I shrug.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a look.
It's a little bit closer inspection. 291 can kind of make out that, yeah, it looks like, I mean, clearly tools were used. There does not appear to have been any major urgency.
Okay. Yeah,
It was a little
no.
bit. And the skill was mediocre.
So here's my real question. Were they good at picking the things that were expensive?
Yes.
Shit. I mean, shoot.
I'm just looking at you as you curse, like waiting for an explanation.
Yeah, no, they got all the good stuff.
Looks like we are not the good stuff, huh?
Well,
Apparently not. Gary, that raises even more questions. Well, come on, we're near the bridge. Maybe
hopefully
we'll
the
get
window's
answers
still
soon.
in.
Well, hopefully the window's still in, and hopefully we still have power to the bridge. Else, this is entirely pointless.
As you're
Has anyone
approaching...
seen 713?
Oh, 713
What's
is
that?
with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
oh,
who
I'm
you're following.
sorry. All right, I thought they went off further ahead.
Yeah, he's like not stopping to look at anything or analyze anything. So he's probably like maybe 20 feet ahead of you, just like
Okay.
barreling through, just following signs.
All right.
713. Decide how 713 reacts to this. There is suddenly a human-looking figure right beside you as you're traveling down the hallway, and just kind of
Like
tucked into an
popped out
alcove.
of nowhere.
Well, You're barreling down, focused, looking around. Must have missed it as you were traveling.
It's a humanoid unconscious or looking at me?
It's a tall humanoid. She appears not to be looking at you.
But standing up awake?
Standing up, awake, eyes forward, open, looking past you.
He like kind of drops back away from this person and like kind of brings his hands up like reactively, but then lowers them when he doesn't see any movement. And he kind of like does the thing where he like waves his hand in front of their face, and it just trying to figure out if they're looking at him, and he like looks back behind him to see what they're looking at.
There's no response.
Does like the snapping in front of the face thing.
You guys all see 713 has found something tucked into an alcove and is gesturing at it as if it is a human.
What are you doing?
I don't know. This thing is creeping me out here.
Ah,
I don't think she's here with us.
she. You found. All right. I. When he says she, I guess I sort of rush up more because he's found a person. And
I'm going to.
I guess I start examining her for, because she just seems to be alive but staring off into the void.
Mm-hmm.
Does my medical knowledge have any indication of what might be going on here?
Yeah, you can go ahead and give her a cursory examination. Heal skill is at 1, right?
Correct.
Give me just a second to refresh myself on my own flavoring on that. While I'm doing that, go ahead and...
Roll.
No, don't roll yet. Roll play.
Okay.
Are you a doctor or something? Do you know what you're doing?
I believe I am something similar to that. Regardless, I haven't enough medical training, I think, to do this.
Does the figure have dust on it?
It does. And it doesn't take too much prodding from the doctor to come to the conclusion that this is an android.
Interesting. It isn't
Okay.
human.
Oh, it looks human to me.
I suppose if you cut into it, you won't find flesh and blood, but circuitry.
Robot.
Android.
All right. Well, you play
And-
with this thing, and
Hold
I'm
on.
going to go to the bridge.
I'm going to, I guess, keep examining it until I can find some way to turn it on. I'm not exactly an expert in androids, but
The rest of you guys can play with this
is there
thing.
an on button?
I'm going to the bridge,
I
and
push it slow.
713 walks on.
104 hangs back to watch the interactions with the android as well. 713, it's not too far until you get to a door that looks considerably more secured than any of the other doors you've been through. It even looks more secure than breach holds or breach doors.
He like just out of, I guess, habit, he just immediately goes up to like the panel to like open the door.
There is a panel there. It appears to have a regular number pad, a keypad that you can bring up on the touch screen, but its default state appears to be a handprint scanner.
I'd like to follow 713 and investigate whether I'm able to overcome this security system.
There is no
I don't-
response from anything that 255 is doing to the android.
I don't ever remember seeing any of these things before. But what the hell? And he puts his hand on the pad.
Oh, good move.
The pad. Excuse me. Hang on 1 second. Pardon
Well,
me. The
leave it
pad.
he-
Sorry, I'll get to you in just a second, Lily.
No, it's perfectly fine.
The pad seems to recognize you, but displays an error of crisis lockdown.
Does it show like a username, like so and so can't access this yet, or is it just put my number?
It just says crew member authorized, crisis lockdown, captain only.
Well, that didn't work. Think you can get into this thing, or should I bust down this door? And 713 looks back behind him as they're all by the android.
872 is up there with you.
Yeah. Hey, any of you knuckleheads can get into this thing? This pad is recognizing me, but it won't let me in.
I guess I look up from my continued failure to activate this android because I have no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. I am not a specialist in I'm good with humans, not good with humans that don't have
Bits.
juicy bits. Yes. So I guess I'll go up and look at the handprint scanner.
Okay. What is
It says the captain only, correct?
It does say captain only. Captain access only.
Perhaps this may be an opportunity. Each of us should try this one by one. If one of us manages to activate it, that'll give us some
104
information.
Has hung back with the android. She's still looking at it.
Okay. I try the handprint scanner.
It gives you the same error.
All right.
Crisis lockdown.
Yeah,
Captain access
I
only.
don't think any of us are on the level of captain. I don't know why they would freeze us.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. But well, it was quicker. It's quicker than trying to pry it open and fiddle around with the internals. Hold on. I may have.
What has 291?
Well, never mind.
I'm
going to go. Sorry.
I'm gonna try some basic voice commands on this android.
Okay. Well, as 291 is inspecting it a little bit more, she recognizes it's very, very subtle. This is an android docking station. The floor panel that she stands on is subtly a charger. It does not look like it's really all that set out from regular flooring. And there may be a panel that she can brush aside from one of these walls that has additional access.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start. Hey, start poking the wall. See if you can get a panel here.
Voice commands do nothing. However, the searching for a panel does reveal that there's an Android status panel.
What is the status of the android?
Android is in full shutdown. And full shutdown was activated. Let's see. March 18th.
So that would be shortly after we were put into stasis.
That's correct.
And before, so the android couldn't be the one who reset our. Is there an android turn on button?
Yeah.
Oh, I hit that button.
Let's do it.
577. Android is activated.
Alright.
And yes, the android suffers the same memory loss as described earlier.
Alright, do I have any commands or routines that are running?
Nope. The last command that was run was to engage physical connection for full shutdown recharge cycle.
Well, in that case, I guess self-diagnostic. Because obviously that's not supposed to happen. She blinks though.
Android, indicate self-designation.
If I run facial recognition on who's addressing me, do I get anything?
Nope.
Huh? In that case, I'll continue with the diagnostics at this point.
I glance over at 291.
Yeah, give it a sec.
104 chirps in also. Android, can you hear us? And no, you don't recognize 104's face either.
Hello.
Android, what has happened?
Unclear. Please specify.
What do you mean unclear? We've been in stasis pods for 6 months. She looks over at 291. Is that right?
6 months.
6 months.
Unclear. Please specify.
Well, it does not seem particularly advanced, at least from its responses.
So has everybody else tried the bridge door?
I want. Android, can you you don't recall your designation?
No valid designation found. Please specify.
I look back at the control panel to see if there was the most recent designation.
Actually, it kind of does. The full text of the last entry is authorized android quotation marks android capitalized engages engaged physical connection for full shutdown recharge cycle.
Okay, well, here it says the android's designation is android.
Oh, that's a terrible name.
Well, I am an
It's better
android.
than what we have.
Yeah, but it'd be like you or me going around calling ourselves human. It's weird.
Human might be a name.
Ugh.
No, this is silly. This is absurd. Android designation. Let's think of a good name. Can't think
Elizabeth.
of one. 0x577. There we go. That sounds about right. No, well, Android accept designation 0x577 as temporary designation.
I don't think you're an authorized user.
Damn it!
Just call it a trash can. It has the same amount of information for us.
Well, we should at least try. Android, can you open the bridge door?
I can try.
Please do.
Well, in that case, she walks up to the door.
I hate dealing with
That
these
is the
things.
door.
Is the dust just sheeting off of her as she walks?
Yes.
I follow.
I'm sorry, is the what coming off of her?
Dust.
Oh, great.
Actually, while I'm there at the panel, is there any other information? Other in the log or...
There's a little bit more information, but it's, well, take it however helpful you think it is. It is literally just all the times that this android has engaged a physical connection for either a full shutdown recharge cycle or a standby shutdown or standby recharge cycle. And
I quickly scroll to the very first entry when she did that. How long ago was it?
very first entry. You're making me open up a new reference.
Sorry?
That's okay. One moment.
Shame.
I know.
He
Making
only
me do
has
work.
himself to blame.
I do. It is true. The very first entry. What? Is 3245 1123.
So about 5 years ago.
Mhm.
4.5 years ago. Well, the android's been here for about 4.5 years.
And
Been on board the ship for 4.5 years.
Been part of this docking thing.
Interesting.
So it implies the ship's at least that old.
The information that you're getting is from multiple docking stations throughout the ship. It's not just this one docking station.
Oh, but they're all connected?
Yeah.
Cool.
And the android's efforts do not open the door.
Wait, hold on. You said all these docking stations are connected?
Mm-hmm.
Can we access other parts of the ship's systems through the Android docking system?
You could try that.
Step aside for a moment. I'm going to.
all
I
yours.
guess I do have some programming skill, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and try to see what I can access via the docking system.
Okay.
Possibly even the camera system.
Okay.
For starters, that might be the easiest one.
That will be a program/int check. If you have the hacker focus, this is hacking.
I do not have hacking.
Actually, sorry. What you asked to do is just programming for now.
Okay. Oh, cancel. Hold on.
The trying to access cameras would be hacking unless that's a normal feature of these.
Right. Nope. Not much.
Nope. While you two are interacting with that panel, 104 goes over to the captain. The captain access denied door, and she tries her hand. There's a pause. A different color lights up, and the door opens with a second in command access authorized.
The door is now open. You are welcome.
Right.
Great. I suppose it was good for something. I look up for the access panel. I guess ignoring it now that it's proven to be totally useless to me. And start walking past her towards the bridge.
Okay. There is one more door. The first door that you just opened looks like it doubles up as a breach hold. And 104 is able to open the second door similarly. You're in a smallish, about 2 meters wide by 4 meters long. Actually, it might have been 1 and 2. I can't remember. I think it's 2 and
Sorry,
4.
really quick, Dex. You said 104 did this, not 577?
That's correct.
Opened up the second door.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are immediately greeted with a bright, glaring sun. The only thing that's probably saving you from being cooked immediately is the inherent radiation shielding on the few windows. Windows on a starship are normally pretty useless, but they seem pretty okay right now. The sun is a lot closer than it should be. Or you're a lot closer to that sun than you should be.
Wait, hold on.
No,
Are we in a
no.
decaying orbit?
Who would know that?
That's a good question. The ship's computer, maybe. Let's try to access it.
Would I have enough experience to see whether the ship is too close to the sun?
Yes.
So is it so close that I would also know that it's moving into the sun by now?
Yeah, you've, let's see. Who among you is immediately privy to this information?
Actually, was gonna ask, am I linked with the ship?
There is a link with the ship. I'll just give this to all of you. Yes, being this close to such a large celestial body, you're definitely caught in its gravity.
Okay,
I know
guys.
this because I went to college.
If I have the link, do I know on how long we have?
There are no systems that you can access with your link right now.
Alright, we should split up. We should immediately try to look for the engine room and try to get the engines running, and others of us should try their luck at the bridge.
Celestial distances mean it's not... I mean, is this an immediate concern, or is it still like we're still at celestial distances, so we've got like a month before we're past the red line?
The sun is really close.
All right, so it's getting into the immediate problem area. All right, agreed. We need to access the bridge controls. We need to start off. The engine should be the main concern right now.
Right. But I think a couple of us could also try their luck here at the bridge.
Agreed.
That way we would be more effective.
Do any of you have any mechanical expertise? We need someone.
I'm sorry, I imagine the robo guy should come with us, since his strength might be useful.
Probably a wise idea. Wait, first, Android, can you access bridge controls?
I will try. And
mean-
she will try to access the basically status readouts and engineering controls.
Can you describe the bridge
Yeah.
a little bit here?
As you walk, as you open those final doors and walk forward, there's a semicircular panel of windows in front of you.
Mhm.
Also some monitors that presumably show other things all about. In front of you is kind of a podium where it looks like a captain would stand, and below that, on a level about 1.5 feet below, is the pilot's seat. There are control panels all along the side of that.
Mhm.
Hang on. And to the left and back is what looks like a comms station, and it's right over here. And to the right is what looks like a shared engineering and tactical space. So this actually is the bridge right here, and that's what you see.
Is there sort of emergency drawing of a map on the wall?
An emergency drawing of a map?
Yeah, like in like you see it on the planes or in every building.
Evacuation.
You are
Yeah.
I suppose there would be. That's on this wall right over here.
Do we see there also out of that where the engines room is most likely?
Yes, you can see a general map of where everything is, and
Looks
I
like there's two main
apologize.
engines.
I initially said that the bridge is on the top level. I forgot that this is a bi-level map. The bridge is actually on the mid-level, and you came from the lower level, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I
Go ahead.
104. I mean, you open the door, so maybe the podium will answer to you.
She starts trying to access that. At the same time, your earlier question, Mari, 577 is getting a lot of non-functional requires power reports. I'll actually just show this to everyone because the captain is able to disable the crisis lockdown, and she says, I don't know if all of you are authorized. Looks like some of this has been erased as well.
Can you transfer authorization to us through the system?
You're try and see if you're authorized users already. I don't
Okay.
know how to. I don't know what to do on the panel just yet.
I guess I walk over to the nearest control panel and see if I can access it.
Hey, if these are those chairs that you can set to whatever.
Mm-hmm. It is not set specific to you. However, the ship is recognizing each of you as an authorized user. It is frustratingly, perhaps, not telling you what your names are.
Great. Well, it is still information. We are all clearly crew of the ship, all clearly officer level. We have the captain with us.
Second in command.
I'm sorry, didn't 104 manage to access the captain information? Or the captain?
She did, but a reading on the panel said second in command accepted.
Ah, okay. We have the executive officer of the ship, or first mate, or whatever terminology they use. I don't know what to do with this.
I would recommend restoring power.
Well, yes, other than that. All right.
Otherwise, by my estimation, very soon it will not matter.
Thank you. Thank you for telling us the sun is getting closer.
It is not. The sun remains exactly where it is. We, however, are moving.
Well, technically, it's a two-body system, so we are slowly changing.
I want to make clear, like, I'm not being silent. My character is being silent and just staring at the android.
She just spawns back.
Great. All right.
The captain makes those ship status accessible to everyone.
Well, we have wasted enough time here.
Does the engineering area allow? Like, does it have a button to turn on the engines? Like, you never know.
It does.
Oh, I hit that button.
Nothing happens.
Oh,
Great.
okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
So are we running on secondary power right now according to ship status?
You're running on essentially emergency power.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right, we need to restore the generator, which is located. Dex, where's the generator located?
Oh, sorry. The generator is located on the top level, around the middle. So these two compartments here. Those are the spike drive banks.
Okay. All right, we need an engineer to go down and restore the generator. Which one of you knew anything about power systems again? At all?
Probably our Roboman.
Great. Roboman, go fix the generator. Android, go fix the generator.
Very well. And she heads out.
Okay. Let's find out. Let me get a read from you guys what everybody is doing. I've got 577 or Android going towards the spike drive.
I'd follow them.
Is the comm system active?
The comm
No.
system is not active.
Okay. Even emergency communications?
Even emergency communications.
Terrific.
I'm gonna go with them.
Alright, so I've got 713 and who else was that?
291.
892 and 291. 872 and 291.
All right. Can you give me a rundown of what systems are active? I guess I'm remaining on the bridge for now.
Life support.
Okay. So bare minimum, really.
Yes. And life support is very specifically counting down the amount of breathable air supply you have for 5 living persons.
And how low is that?
15,
You got 15
days.
days. Yep.
Terrific. System information?
Which any system in specific?
This one. This particular system.
I can't see where you're pointing if you're pointing nowhere.
I'm not pointing to anything. I'm talking about the system we're currently, like the star system we're currently in.
Oh, sorry,
Oh.
star system. Nope, that would be that would require your nav systems to be functional.
Okay.
So as everyone is like scrambling around the bridge, like doing specific things or leaving to go do something, 713 is like just standing there, and he like doesn't recognize anything, any of the systems, doesn't feel familiar to it. So he just kind of announces that he's gonna search the rest of the deck here. So he walks off when the other two leave to go to the engineering compartment, and he's just gonna room by room search to see who's here, what's here.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Someone give me a quick TLDR on things that I've missed.
All right, so basically we searched a bit of the ship. We found the android, and one of us managed to reactivate it. Now we're on the bridge, and outside the window is the sun, and it's getting closer. And we are in a decaying orbit unless we manage to turn power back on and restore power to the engines.
And the computer thinks that you're the second in command.
Yes.
What's the cockpit of the ship like?
The bridge.
The bridge, sorry, yeah. What's the bridge like? Is it organized like a, is there a captain's seat and all those kind of? Does it look like it was a multi-crew ship? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
One of 4 is going to go and sit on the captain's seat.
Oh,
Or
that's,
the
that's part of the recap that was missed. 104 was actually able to open a door to the bridge where nobody else was, and 104 was able to override or disable the crisis lockdown, which was denying everybody except for the captain access to the bridge. So 104 is at the captain's podium right now, and has just confirmed.
Is there some buttons by the seat?
Captain doesn't get a seat.
Oh, is it like a stand-up thing? Is it like a desk that I just stand up at?
Yep, it's podium. Podium.
Okay, I'm gonna
control panel.
What kind of stuff's on there? Is there a button that says turn the ship on?
There is. It has.
Tried it.
Yep, it has already been tried, and it did nothing.
Who tried it?
I did. 291.
I'm gonna try it.
It does not respond any differently.
Damn it.
It's worth a shot,
we
though.
sent a couple people down to the power generators to try to turn everything back on since we're running on emergency power.
104 is gonna like look around and say, so we've got no idea where we are. We're floating towards the sun. And no one knows who they are, so we've literally been left in this ship to die.
My best guess is that we are somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy.
I've got no idea what you mean by that.
I don't know if you're able to access it on your device, Monos, but there is a handout that is called Ship Status Vital Systems that tells you what systems are functional.
I'll go and have a look at that now.
It's life support. That's the only one that's functional.
We've got 15 days of air left.
But we've got
How long
36
until
days
we-
of water, so, hydrolysis
And how
is
long?
pretty easy.
How long until we reach the event horizon of the sun?
You will need the nav systems up to determine the point of no return.
Well, technically, we'll never reach the event horizon of the sun because that's not. The sun doesn't have an event horizon.
We got what we meant.
It's the point where your ship starts melting, right?
Right. Well, we'll reach the red line. Actually, what's our actual time here?
You don't know. And it's more like when you reach the point where the gravity is, you're too close for the gravity to even be able to try and pull out of it.
Right.
The melting comes after that.
I don't think we'll know until we get the engines back on and see how much power they have.
So we've got, I'm going to interject here, we've got Android 872 and 291 going to engineering. 104, are you staying on the bridge?
Yeah, she'll stay on the bridge and just kind of try and figure out the ship and get her bearings.
Alright, 713, was that a staying on the bridge?
No, 713 went to explore the ship.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was an
I'm systematically searching each room on this deck.
Alright, and 255.
Oh, that's me. I'm on the bridge. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Weird question. Do we know a name for this boat yet?
Yeah, that part is actually visible to you. It's called the Raza,
As in R-O-S-A?
as in R-A-Z-A.
Raza. Does that name ring? I'm assuming not, but does it ring any bells?
No, not really.
From the captain's podium, can I access any sort of recorded information? Like logs, diaries, anything like that?
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay. Is there anything saved that I can see?
It appears to have all been deleted.
You see, like, 104 is like scrolling through the computer, then she just like punches the desk. She's like, "We're not dying here, okay? We're getting out of this."
Here's a question: based on rates of oxygen consumption, how long would we be able to breathe if we transferred power from life support to another system?
That is a good question. It really is going to depend on how much power you're going to try and transfer. If that is something that 255 wants to try and calculate, then I'll certainly let him try. Is he taken to a panel and trying to work that out?
Yeah,
Alright, we'll get back to you and go with the Android 872 and 291 heading towards the spike drive right now. With the map, it's much easier. You can see where to go and to get there with reasonable speed. The doors to the engine room opens up for any one of you that tries to open it. Almost like it was welcoming you. Inside,
yeah,
on either side, you see quiet and silent banks of power generation that are typically thrumming along to power a spike drive. And 291 and Android, you know that generally the spike drive is running even if there's no acceleration. The spike drive is just a constantly running power generation and recycling station. It does a lot of different things in addition to providing power to propel the ship.
Does it look like it's been looted?
It does look like it has also been looted.
Fudge.
Well, find the console, get the status, see what needs to be repaired to make it run again.
I'm gonna go inspect. Do we need... I don't know if this is a thing that I would know. Do we need all of it to run, or can we get some of it to run?
Do you mean all of the spike drive?
Yeah.
Let me go through with the team that's there right now, and
Yeah,
I'll come
that's
back
me.
to you because they
me.
might answer that question.
I'm there.
Wait, wasn't that 104's voice I was hearing?
No.
Oh, my bad. I'm not good with voices. I will tell you guys. I should have told you that right at the beginning.
I'm the only British person here, so just use that as a reference.
And I'm the only one pretending to be British, so
yeah, I was
it's
gonna say
fine.
you're both sounding.
And my voice is inconsistent because I haven't decided what I want to do for it yet.
Well, your character is Indian, if that helps.
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
but he sounds British, if that helps.
Yeah. It sort of does.
Okay, I don't know if that just
Yeah, it just popped up.
Okay. I hope it didn't pop up twice.
Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm gonna pop it up again, sorry. I have to show it to myself or not. Okay, never mind. As Android and 291 are inspecting around, sorry for the delay there, you do see that it's not functional either. However, some observations. This is a very strange and advanced drive. It's fitting the theme of this ship, of the ship being highly advanced and at the same time very unusual. You can tell that this is a pre-tech drive because it's extremely old.
Mm-hmm.
The drive itself needs power, and I think I wrote that little tidbit of information down a little bit inaccurately. You can get it to power up without the 25,000 in scrap. You just can't get it to a drive rating of 1. Basically, you can get it to a system drive, which is what I should have typed there.
Gotcha.
and both 291 and Android think that you should be able to disable or appease some of the safety measures that are present on these devices, on these banks, and get some power flowing.
Well, the android would get started on that.
Okay.
Are there any tools in here?
Basic tools, anything that looks like, or anything that would have been expensive and highly helpful, has been looted. Let me slip back over to the bridge for a second.
You're stuck with rocks. Doing a Paleolithic spaceship run.
The bridge, you were trying to find out how long it will take before you reach the point of no return. Can't really do that without nav systems. You're trying to figure out what power you could divert from life support to other systems.
Mm-hmm.
And with a little bit of information available to you, and I'm just going to go with your high-no skill here, not making me roll a check. The power trickling through life support to keep these low, dim lights on for you, and to circulate the air to where you need it, and recycle your water, is minimal in comparison to any kind of thrust that would need to be provided to engines or practically any other system. Life support is a very, very light system.
What about comms?
You could
I had a bit of an idea. 255, you're the one on the bridge, right?
Yep.
104 is going to kind of walk over and see what you're doing with trying to figure out power. And she kind of looks at you and says, why don't we... Well, this is an emergency idea, but we could shut down power to most of the ship, turn on the comms, and send out emergency signals, right?
I'm trying to see if I can do that without killing us. Yes.
If we lock the doors and only breathe when we really need it.
It may be easy if we could find some vac suits.
I can go out and look if you wish.
It might be a good idea. I believe 713 is also searching the ship. Perhaps you can help him.
And with that, I'm actually going to pan over to 713. 713, you leave the bridge and pass through the security corridor that the android was in. Go into what looks like a kind of a stateroom. It's where you came from. And beyond that is a person elevator. It's a small personal elevator that reaches the ships. One thing that you're noticing as you travel through the ship is that there are places where there should be vac suits. In fact, there should have been vac suits in the breach hold where the android was found. There should have been vac suits in a few of the other rooms that you've traveled through, or corridors that you've traveled through. You haven't seen any.
Okay. And are we... So the map right here is fairly... pretty much where I'm at right now?
Yeah.
What area am I in?
Am
Am I just in this corridor system?
So that's the top level. You're actually one level down below that, unless you go up to where the others are fiddling away with the engine banks.
Gotcha. So if there's a way to go further into the ship, he doesn't want to leave this deck, so to speak, because most everybody's here trying to figure stuff out, and just his intuition is anything important is going to be on this deck. So like captain's quarters, maybe crew quarters, armory, basic necessities that you would need to get to quickly or just have access to universally. So he just wants to go from the bridge just straight down through the ship on this level and just check out, kind of just open each room if he can, and just check out where everything is, get a layout of the ship.
Okay. As he's exploring, he confirms most of what he assumed, that the bridge, the crew quarters, business areas, and recreational areas are all on this level with a bridge.
Okay, and pretty fairly easy to tell that there's been nobody in any of these rooms for a while.
Yeah, for probably 6 months.
Okay, so he's pretty much disturbing anything that is stagnant in the area.
Yeah. Dust isn't as big of a thing inside of a spaceship in space, but there is still accumulation.
Right, but it looks like there's been no system running to like regulate the air or anything. It's just basically the ship is filled with oxygen.
Actually, more to the point, it seems like the oxygen is moving around with him. There's when he goes into a new area, the air is very stale, very stagnant, and let's see, it's like going to high altitudes at first, and then there's vents open and air rushes in to provide him with breathable air.
Oh, okay. As he's making his way through here, he's gonna look for the captain's quarters specifically, to see if there's any notes or any kind of sign of what, maybe logs or something. The galley, to see if there's any food that we can eat, and then a weapon storage.
Well, you find the galley, and you think that the captain's quarters, or at least a captain's ready room, was right outside of the bridge.
That's more like a meeting room, though, right? Or did he have a bed in there and stuff?
You didn't actually go into it. You just know that it was across from the
Okay.
crew ready room.
Okay. He'll
Uh,
check that then going back in, because it's probably the closest thing.
It is still the closest, yeah. Now that he's gotten his bearings. However, once he gets there, he is not allowed access.
Okay.
Let me flip
Mental
back
note.
over to the bridge, because over on the bridge, 104, you see at your console that permission to enter your ready room has just been requested.
Yes, she'll just click the yes button.
Okay.
She assumes that that's one of the crew members searching the ship.
All right. I'm gonna stick with the bridge for a second here. I have, because you are looking at weapons. Let's see, who is that? That's 255 and Monos.
It's 255 and 104 are the ones in the bridge right now.
Right. You should have seen something pop up in front of you.
Mm-hmm. See it? Huh. Well, we have the remnants of a phased charge cannon and something called a metaspatial hypercharge cannon. This is... I have the distinct impression that these are not exactly post-tech. This is not exactly a post-tech tool. What is this ship?
It's something very old by the looks of it. I think I have an idea, at least, what's happened. Or a theory. I think, given the fact that the ship automatically gave some of us me access to things, I think we might be the ship's crew, and we locked ourselves in stasis. And I think something must have terribly gone wrong with the systems. It's probably why we only remember little bits about ourselves.
Well, something's certainly going terribly wrong. I won't disagree on that point. Hold. Now, have I managed to do anything vis-a-vis the seeing if I can transfer power to the external comms.
Yeah. External comms or internal comms? Or both?
External.
Okay.
External.
You think that you could perhaps cost yourself a day of air recycling
Hmm.
in order to spin up external comms? However, the computer is reporting that there are repairs necessary as well.
So even if I did manage to transfer power to the comms, it wouldn't really do us any good.
Right, it would probably just sap the power and fizzle.
Hmm. I'm afraid we're not getting it. I don't think we're going to be getting anything out of the communication system. Not until we repair it.
Do we have a flare gun? You could put the android on top of the ship and fire a flare gun.
That would be seen against the background of the sun.
It's better than nothing, though, right?
Can the android get
That
a
is
surfboard?
very questionable, actually. I don't think it would be.
What was that, Nick?
Can the android
Just-
get a surfboard?
It's just kind of
Turn it
chuckles at you.
into Darkstar.
Just kind of chuckles at you and said, "Listen, I'm joking. I'm just trying to raise our spirits, okay?"
Well, we're certainly going to be raised if we don't get things turned back on.
Didn't
Hold on.
one of our crew members?
Wait, didn't the android go to engineering?
Yeah, and I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I was waiting for a pause in your conversation, and then this seems like
Okay.
a good point here.
Yeah, go ahead.
However, first I'm flipping back to 713. The door that just denied you access opens.
Yeah, he kind of just looks confused, but he cautiously enters and starts looking around.
Okay.
And he'll just start kind of going through stuff, see if there's any access to like maybe a personal computer. Check out like just anything that would indicate what happened, what's the ship's current like orders, and
The captain's ready room that you just walked into is sparsely appointed. It does not look like it saw much use, even before these 6 months. And it certainly doesn't really register as what. I'll say this. You decide if you care to take it as a hunt or not. It doesn't really fit the feel of 104. Looks like it may have been somebody else's. But
okay.
the computer is there. There's a weapon in the drawer. Just a standard, what is it, semi-automatic pistol.
Does he sort of like as soon as he sees it, does it kind of trigger any kind of response, like emotionally, like he would recognize that, like kind of feel familiar to it?
No.
Okay. He'll collect it, just because it's a weapon. Sort of just like tucks it in his pocket or something, and he'll go through the rest of the personal effects.
Alright, personal effects, and it becomes more and more clear that this was not 104's ready room. And that's also fairly clear by the fact that she was identified as a second in command. Whoever did hold this ready room did not use it much. The computer it's off, obviously. Excuse me. And as far as personal effects go, Well, the gun would be the only one.
Okay. Is it customized in any way, or is it just standard?
It's just standard.
Okay. Does it have a clip? It's a projectile, right?
Yeah,
Does it have a magazine or extra magazines near it?
it does not have any extra magazines, but it does have
Just
a clip.
Okay. And he'll check it, make sure there's rounds in it, and then put it back in.
There are. It is fully loaded.
Okay. He will continue searching. Then outside, he'll just go down the hall, and he's gonna like if there's like side rooms, like maybe like a bunk room for like crew members or something. Like he'll kind of just mental note it. But now he's gonna go check galley for food and drinkable water and stuff like that.
Okay. Alright, he had an idea where the galley was. It was a little bit farther down than he had gone. And with that, we'll flip back over to the bridge.
Okay.
The three of you you have an idea what to do to get these weapons up and get the drive, the engine banks up and running.
Oh, so you're switching to engineering, not the bridge.
Oh yeah, my bad. I meant to say engineering.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't have any tools, so I'm just gonna see what we can do without them.
Okay. Who all is taking a look at the engines to see what you can do? Is it just 291 or is Android also? What about 872?
Oh, yeah, then Android got started on the repairs right away.
Okay. And 872? What's he doing?
Vision.
I would probably just look around whether I find something useful.
Okay. Let's see. And
Are you still carrying your big pipe around?
Yep.
Okay.
Always.
Look, I just want to make sure I have the mental image clear.
Alright. Both Android and 291 have a fix at 1, and so this doesn't even need a roll. You know that you will need parts that you can either cannibalize from other systems or obtain in some other way, but repairing that drive to actually be a functional metaspace spike drive is going to take a lot of repairs. At least a day's worth of work at a normal space dock maintenance yard. Without a space dock or a maintenance yard, you're looking at 4 days worth of work.
But we can get it powered up.
But you can get it
Without
to
that.
be a functional system drive, essentially using those nacelles as impulse engines.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
let's
the
do
plan.
that. Yep.
5 out of 6 crew members would appreciate air.
And I'm going to go ahead and update all of these ship statuses to just include all players. That way I don't have to think about them anymore. And then I'm going to throw them at you. So you've already all got vital systems. Show players. Everyone. And show players. Everyone. There. I have peppered your screen with handouts.
So you have.
They're not all immediately relevant, but at least now you have access to look at whatever you find relevant in the short term. It's going to take Android or 577 and 291 some time to work and massage the engines into just generating power for everything else. For the engine banks to generate power. In the meantime, 872, looking around, there isn't really much useful around here. There are a few other things that could be used as bashing or piercing weapons, but you've got a pretty good bar already.
Nothing
Well-
wrong with a pipe.
Yeah. Guys, do you need my assistance? Anything I should look for on the ship, or are you good here?
Hey, can I borrow that pipe?
Hmm.
It
What?
would fit it would fit this part right here.
Sure. Okay. I'd hand it over.
Alright, now you gotta go find a different weapon.
It disappears into the engine, just somehow.
Well, okay. Anything else you might need?
Yeah, if you could find me another piece of bar about the same length, that would be great.
Okay, then I'd go and watch out for one. Wait a second, could I tell whether that action was useful at all for the engine or not?
It's hard to tell.
I'd like to check whether my character would know that.
Go ahead and roll int fix.
Int fix?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming that 291 was not just throwing things into the engine, just.
No, I needed a brace. You got to hold the engines apart. Come on.
Oh dear.
As 872 is eyeballing what just occurred with some suspicion, he can see that the part actually it has wedged into and between a couple of parts and is straining against the position it's been put into.
I mean, normally there'd be a real nice aluminum piece here, but somebody made off with that.
Oh dear.
I'll still look kinda not really believing it, but I'll let it be for now and go out and look for another pipe.
Okay. It isn't hard to find among the remnants of what's been left. Some non-valuable piece of some kind of metal. Probably not lead, but some kind of heavy metal.
Okay.
It doesn't take him very long. What does 8-7 do want to do after that?
I'd like to look for the crew quarters.
Okay. Alright. 872 leaves the engine room to go find some crew quarters. And we're going to leave him exploring. He eventually finds directions to return to the second level, or mid-deck. And can find a ladder going down that way because the elevators still are not powered. And we're gonna... Go ahead.
I wanted to ask whether what's in the ladder. Oh, you meant a ladder. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm
No
on my
worries.
way. That's it.
And let's switch back over to the bridge. Now remember, you guys aren't actually in communication with each other.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on over here?
Monos, are you currently around?
I am, yes.
Okay.
All right. Can we? Let's see. Can I look into exactly what needs to be done to fix the comms?
Yeah. Where are we at? Vital systems. So, fixing their internal comms is going to be easier than fixing the external comms. The external comms, basically, some of the circuit boards that allow for the computer to do various switching and other technobabble jargon have been removed. You will need to find those valuable parts or makeshift pieces from a scrap pile.
Well, wait, we have other functional computers here, don't we?
You do have other functional computers.
Is there anything... Hold on. Is there anything that looks less than useful?
On the bridge? No.
Okay.
They all appear to be responsible for something.
But... Oh, wait. There was that Android charge bay, wasn't there? That would have had internal components.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Maybe we could scavenge the circuitry from the Android charge bay panel back there. If we had that, we might be able to get comms up and running.
How long can the Android last without power, though?
Well, there should be other charge bays in the ship that might have power, and even if not, well, we might be able to just steal it from the bridge control access panel too. That'd probably be wiser.
The tactical systems, targeting systems on the ship. Do we need that?
The weapons are non-functional. I doubt they'd be functional even without extensive repairs. Yeah, we could steal it from that.
We can just salvage them.
All right. Yeah. We'll try to salvage from the tactical then.
Okay. All right. Do either of you have fixed skill? Is that a... Oh, I think we just lost Lulu for a second. Typing.
Yep.
Be right back real quick.
Okay. Alright. Well, everyone else is active in jobs that will take them some time, so let's look at the explorers. Okay. Yeah, Lulu's having a headset problem there. For sake of ease, let's say that 713 and for roleplay and 872 meet up. You both find the mess at about the same time. And although it has been scavenged as well, there's still a supply of basically MREs.
Yum.
Highly enjoyable.
Who came into the same room?
872. Vision.
I'm looking through the commissary or the galley here, see if we have any supplies left. It looks like just these MREs. Nasty things, although I don't know why I know that.
Hello? I had to switch headsets because apparently my other one just broke somehow.
Just randomly
They
broke.
do that.
Okay.
Apparently.
Alright, I'll come back to the bridge in a few minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to keep fiddling with stuff then.
Okay. Alright. 713.
Is there like a water processing type thing, or is it bottled
No,
water?
Yeah, it's a water processing situation.
Okay. Is it in this room or is it like a bigger thing?
No, you're able to get water here. It is still trickling, just like it was when 291 tried to pull water out of the medbay sink.
Okay.
But it's also cold. You're not able to get hot water.
Okay.
But there doesn't appear
Is
to be
there
any processing done right here.
Gotcha. Is there small like containers that I could fill water up in?
Yes.
Um like just like a personal size. Like I'm gonna fill a bunch or at least put some water in some containers for the rest of the guys on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the guys from the engine room come back to meet us, I can pass out water to them.
Yeah, you can find a handful of.
I'm assuming not eating for 6 months, we're probably really hungry.
Well, that's the nice thing about stasis. Is you're only a little bit hungry.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gathering like maybe a bin. I'm putting like some water bottles like in the bin and emery packets enough for who's here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of leave it on the counter here, and then I'm gonna go down to the rest, like to the back area. Just kind of look at that area because I'm still kind of looking for an armory or something of that type.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I come back this way, I'll grab the bin and take it up to the bridge. Um, unless the person that's with me here wants to take it back.
I'd like to look for personal stuff like photos, letters, or documents that may have been not taken.
Okay, I passed the crew quarters right on my way into here.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so I let him know that the crew quarters are back that way if he wanted to look for personal effects.
Have you seen any of them?
I didn't stop and look for anything. I went to the captain's quarters and looked around there, but all I found was a pistol, and then I kind of handed it over to him.
Oh, that comes handy.
I don't have much use for this, but if you need it.
Yeah, that feels quite familiar. And as I take it, I kind of play with it around with a few pistol tricks. And then, yeah, I store it in the bag and keep going.
Okay. All right. So.
I'll meet you back on the bridge when I search the back part of this area here, and I'll
See
bring
ya.
the food up.
All right. So 713 is taking food and water to the bridge.
No, not yet. I'm checking out the rest, the back end still. I'm going to continue. Search out that area, look for an armory, and then come back this way, grab the bin, and go back up to the bridge.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry about that. And 872, what did you say that you were doing? Sounds like basically.
Making my way to
crew
the.
quarters.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And looking for any kind of documents or whatever could tell us some background story.
This is why I write things down. And all right, I'm gonna stick with 872 for a second. Actually, before I do that, you were looking for the armory 713.
Yeah, or what's at the rest of the end of the ship here?
The rest of the ship at the end, this appears to be just the living deck. It's got the bridge, the crew spaces, rec areas, business, and I also oopsed at the beginning. Medbay is also on this level, so or it's supposed to be when I map it out. So this is primarily where the crew living spaces are kept.
Okay, so any kind of daily lively functions are up here, and then one deck up is, well, I don't know this in character, but just to get an idea mentally. And then, so up in the upper part of the ship, that's the engine and like science and all that stuff. And then there's only just a smaller lower part, and that's where our chambers were kept.
No, the thing I may have painted a little bit less of a picture. So the top level is the you'll discover this soon enough, is a fighter bay or shuttle bay, and also where the bulk of the machinery for engineering and for the cannons is kept. That's almost entirely what the top level is occupied with. However, the top level also has things that go along with the shuttle bay, security posts, visitor lobbies, and your character will find out the armory. In fact, I thought you guys
Okay, so
looked at
the bridge is like on a like the central deck, like the middle deck.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only area he's checked out. So if he spots like this is just like wreck area or whatever is in the back part of the ship, then he'll go through, grab the bin, and then take it up to the bridge.
Okay. And then 872, you find the crew quarter areas that 713 was pointing you to, and there are a lot of small bunk rooms on this ship. Quick estimate is the ship can crew at least 100, probably more. You also find, and there's nothing in any of them. In fact, they look like they haven't been used for far longer than the 6 months you've been in stasis.
But they look like they were used at one point of a time.
They do look like they have been used at some point in the past, yes.
Okay. So, what about personal things that might have been left behind? Photos, drawings, books?
In the small room bunk areas, there's nothing. The only indication you have that there ever was anybody here is that the beds are made, and that there's smudges on, whatever mirrors are in the common areas. You also find a set or sequence of larger rooms that look like they're for officers or higher ranks, and these do not open for you.
Is there again a panel, security panel?
There is a panel.
May I try to overcome it somehow by? Would my expertise allow me to see whether I could overcome it?
In what sense are you trying to overcome it?
Well, in case it's not kind of built into the wall, try to pull it out and maybe try to switch some cables, swap some cables, or anything like that.
Let's see. Yeah, he would just be basically brute strengthen it. I should say before he goes through with this, that he hasn't tried all of the larger crew doors. Just the first few that he tried did not give him access.
Okay, then I would of course try it first, every door, and then see whether I can brute force.
I apologize for leaving that detail out. There is one door that opens for him.
Oh, I enter and I look around. What do I see?
You see guns.
Oh! How many?
You see things that are kind of feel like they're appealing, just like they feel comfortable. There is a small armory in this room. You've got armored undersuit, as well as a combat rifle and a combat shotgun.
I take everything with me.
Yeah. There's also a few other guns that are maybe more niche or not as advanced. Regular shotgun, semi-automatic pistol, and a regular rifle.
Okay, I'll have to look whether I'm able to actually take that with me.
Let's see. You've got 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. That would be your exact encumbrance.
Oh, nice. Yeah, then I'd put the secured clothing on and take all the weapons with me. What about ammunition?
They appear to have they are loaded, and there's ammunition for everything. However, you can't carry it because then you'll be encumbered.
Yeah, I'd leave.
I mean,
I'd
you
leave.
could carry it.
I forgot that it just slows you down, doesn't it?
Ah, yeah, right.
I actually don't know the encumbrance rules aside from what the numbers are.
Halves your speed, and you get a negatives to. I think that's pretty much it. You half your speed, and then I think you get negatives to like exert.
That sounds, yeah, okay, yeah. You could carry your ammo. You'd be kind of waddling along.
No, I'd leave probably one gun there and take instead some ammunition with me.
Okay, okay.
And besides of that, is there anything besides of the weapons and the guns, any sort of personal stuff? Maybe a stuffed animal.
There's no stuffed animal. There is a photo face down, or a photo frame face down on
Okay,
one of the dressers.
I'd like to pick it up and look
Okay,
whether there's something familiar.
that's just some pretty woman. Photo appears to have been taken against a wooded backdrop on an Earth-like planet.
Do I feel any feelings when I see the woman?
You
Any
do,
memories?
yeah. There's a slight pang of regret mixed with an emotional positivity tug.
I'll put the picture back down and feel a little bit confused.
Okay. It reattaches itself magnetically.
Anything else that kinda is interesting for me in the room?
Nope, just the weapons.
If I look around, may I see maybe a place where I would hide things most likely? Like I stand in the room and I imagine if I would try to hide something, where would I do it? And then look at that spot.
Nothing jumps out at you. Um, you could spend some time and roll a notice check for it if you want to, but just kind of looking around and trying to rely on these vacant memories and tug feelings, nothing really jumps out at you.
Okay. Then it shall be it for now. And I close the door. And as I've said, I leave one gun there so that I could take in ammunition with me. And yeah,
Okay.
that's it. And I would head to the bridge back.
And there actually are 2 encumbrance worth of ammunition, so that's 6 parcels of ammunition.
Okay.
All right. let's spin back to... Who wants to go? Who wants to be next?
I will be next because I got interrupted halfway through the.
You
thing.
did. Let's go ahead and head back to the bridge. I hope you remember what your conversation was.
It was trying to decide whether we could pull the circuitry or circuit boards out of the.
That's
tactical...
right. And neither of you actually have fix skill.
Mm-hmm.
So
Probably not.
Your programming knowledge will let you do it, but it is not going to be the most efficient. You're not even without having a good grasp of the components through some fixed knowledge. You're not even sure that you can get the right or enough components out of the tactical console. You can still try though if you want to go with program check.
I have a better idea. I'm just going to run down to engineering and grab the android and make her do it.
Okay. And that works because Monos is currently driving home and should be back shortly.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. Walk down to engineering.
I think we also lost Water. You still with us, Water?
Yep, I'm still here.
Ah, you're showing as offline. Alright.
Can't trust anyone these days.
Especially not internet connections.
Apparently not.
We're about 2.5 hours in. Do you guys want to take a quick break?
Yeah, well, Moss
I'm
is
fine.
driving home anyway, so it might be a good idea to do it now.
Yeah, let him have time to get home.
Yeah, I was thinking
fine.
the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and put us on a be right back screen. I try to plug in a 10 to 15 minute break each session. Alright, we're a couple minutes past that 45, so I'm gonna put us back in the frame.
All right, everyone here?
I think
Yep.
we're still waiting on Monos, but oh no,
He's back in.
just showed
Hello.
up.
All right.
Hello. I'm just currently turning my
Just in the nick
computer
of time.
How's that for timing?
on.
It's
Why have
very
you just
good.
had a little break?
Yeah.
I'm just turning my computer on at the moment. I'm still on my phone, so just
Okay.
won't be Roll20 active.
That's fine.
So, can someone give me a quick rundown of what happened? I haven't missed anything important, right?
Well, I could probably use one too, actually.
Well, last thing's done. Bridge folks, Android and 291 are still working on the power. They're spending some time there and decoupling the couplers and etc.
They're doing sci-fi stuff.
They're doing sci-fi stuff. They're doing jargon.
We're rotating the Grammines. Obviously.
Obviously. 713 has gone exploring, has found where the armory should be with a little bit of memory of the map posted in the bridge and well, basically that, and
I
exploring.
remember he found some weapons, right?
He hasn't actually gotten there yet, but he's heading towards it.
Did someone
872.
find
Yep.
bunch of guns?
872 did find personal crew quarters, and it looks like one of them was, well, it responded to him, it opened for him, and it had a bunch of big guns, so it seemed real familiar to him.
Could you? It was a little bit too fast.
Oh, sure.
So I have 6 ammo, and what were the weapons again?
The weapons were combat shotgun, combat rifle,
Combat shotgun, combat rifle.
shotgun and rifle,
shot.
And now that was in his quarters, not the armory, right?
That's correct.
Great.
And semi-auto pistol.
So you're Jane. Okay.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking it.
And what weapon did I left in the room?
That depends. Do you want to carry both all 6 ammo with no encumbrance, or do you want to be encumbered? Because if you want to carry all 6 ammo, you'll have to leave one of the large weapons behind.
Do any
Okay.
of the guns have a name on the barrel or something?
They do not.
Aw.
Fake Jane.
I'll decide while looking through the different stats of the weapon which one I left behind.
Okay.
And by the way, I closed the door again, so it
Okay.
won't open for anyone but me.
All throughout there, you'd probably leave the shotgun behind because it has the same stats as a combat shotgun, except that it can't burst fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you bring so many guns with you? Just pick one, dude.
Well, no. You might want guns for different situations. Pick 3.
Actually, I wanted to give it to to a
Well,
couple.
if you want to give him to another PC, that makes sense then.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. give
And
him
on the
the guns.
bridge, 255 has finished a bit of an analysis on the efficiency of cannibalizing the tactical console to try and get the outward external comms running, and has come to the conclusion that he and probably also 104 just aren't mechanically skilled enough to efficiently pull out parts. He can probably do it with his program knowledge, but there may be some inefficiencies and some waste.
So yeah, I just went to see if I can steal one of our techies to do some IT work.
104 will spend time standing by the captain's thing, just figuring things out, getting comfortable.
Okay.
She has a feeling she's going to spend a lot of time standing here, so
Wear comfortable shoes.
yeah.
Or maybe just bring in like a folding chair.
Actually, yeah, I want to steal one of the chairs.
Unsecured furniture is generally bad in starships in my universe.
I mean, it's generally bad in most moving things, yes.
Yeah, but in a lot of sci-fi, it doesn't really matter because inertial damping is perfect.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. All right, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it's not perfect here.
No, in fact, the entire time of a spike drill, there's no gravity.
Okay, that's good to know then. So, like for the entire like week or so that you're going through.
Right, and I should say there's a little bit of gravity. The way I've rationalized spike drives is that there's a spike plate, pretty much universally at the bottom of the ship. It's kind of like the bottom of a car, and that spike plate is also what typically generates the gravity that allows you to stand and actually creates a downward force, distributes it evenly. But the true and full purpose of that spike plate is that's what manipulates the gravitational waves and kind of edges the ship in between gravitational planes and gets you into metaspace. So the fact that it provides gravity for you under normal space usage is just kind of a side benefit that somebody said, hey, this thing could totally do that. We should do that. And that became common.
Quick question to you. Is this map accurate to, for example, this shuttle bay here? Is there a shuttle in it?
There is no shuttle in it.
No,
Okay.
it should say in the ship's status, I believe, or one of the ship's statuses.
That would be the fittings, I believe.
Yes, that would be the cargo lighter.
Actually, that one's the ship bay. The cargo lighter is
Oh.
at the bottom, on the bottom level.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Ship bay fighter, nothing's damaged, but the fighter's gone.
And I
This is a
apologize for
big
not
ship.
having a ship map. I have gone back and forth on whether a ship map needs to be actually generated. And the fact that this beginning sequence is really practically the only time that it would be realistically useful, unless you guys get boarded sometime, has reprioritized mapping the ship lower and lower as other things come in and say, no, this needs to be done first.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Well, let's pick back up now that Monos is recapped with I believe we were just finishing the bridge. 255 just came to his conclusion and decided to head down to engineering. I'm going to 255 starts making his way down to the engine room. He'll have to climb a ladder because, like I said, my first representation was a little bit off. He has to climb a ladder to get up and over there. In the meantime, 713, you find the armory. It's also on the top level. It's a few doors. In fact, I think if I have it up. Hang on. I've mapped.
So yeah, if I would have I would have dropped supplies off in the bridge for the guys that are there, and then carried the basket upstairs to take it to the engine room.
Okay. And it was 872 that was going to the armory. I keep getting you two mixed up. Let's see. Armory.
I thought 872 found the armor. Oh no, he found his bedroom.
He found like a stash, not the
Gotcha.
armor.
Yeah.
And I as a player know where it's at, but me as a character don't know where it's at.
Okay.
But I'm trying to take care of the crew. It's like one of my personality quirks is, I like to watch out for people. So I'm trying to feed everybody and make sure they're taken care of while they're working because I don't have any technical skills. At least I don't feel. So I feel kind of useless at this point.
All right. Well, let's. Oh my gosh, too many windows open. Hang on. Okay. That's that one. This one goes here. Okay. And when he does get there, he's taking his supplies, the water and the food to the crew right now. The armory will be right here. And that is on the top deck. Okay. Alright, so 713 and 255 probably run into each other as they're. Nope. 713 is still on the mid deck because he didn't actually go up to the armory yet. So you guys pass on separate levels. Let's go with 255 at the bridge first.
You mean 104? 104 is at the bridge.
255 going towards engineering is what I meant to say.
Okay.
You
Okay.
arrive at engineering.
I guess I look around. Do I see the others fiddling with the spike drives?
Yeah.
Fiddling.
Fiddling. Tinkering. Whatever word you'd like to use.
Huh.
How goes the... Are the repairs going well?
Well, I don't like the look of that turbo encapsulator.
I'm not sure what that is, so I will take your word for it that it is not great.
Repairs would go a lot faster if we had the proper tools.
I can't
Yeah,
do anything about
tools would be nice.
I can't do anything about that. But I do think I could use one of your help. Here, Android, will you come with me back to the bridge? We need your help with something.
It's funny, that's that character's name. It sounds so racist when we call him.
It's not racist. They're not human.
Android.
Before you burn up.
What?
Something more important than ensuring that we do not burn up in the sun?
You think I can wind this Lotus O Delta type pandermic semiboloid by myself?
You do not sound very certain.
Yes?
I cannot!
Okay. This should only take a few minutes. This may be key to getting us out of this mess. Or it may be entirely useless. Either way, it shouldn't take much time.
Can we finish this first?
How long will it take?
You guys have about 10 minutes left. Estimate.
Like 20 minutes.
I
Okay,
believe that's
Scotty.
inaccurate. 10 minutes.
Look, I look over at the android. Look, you promise low and then you deliver high. Come on.
But
Wouldn't
that
it
is
be
inaccurate.
promising high and delivering low in this case, since it's time?
A large metal pipe comes flying out of the engine at you.
I duck.
It doesn't go very far. She's not very strong.
Yeah.
I believe I warned you about that pipe.
All right.
Oh,
I step
oh,
over
yeah.
the-
Injured.
The
I pick up the pipe and just shove it back into the engine.
Oh, not there. Not there.
All right. I shove
A
it.
little bit to the left. A little bit to
All
the
right,
left. Right there.
I shove it into his side.
Repairs will now take 15 minutes.
Right. Well, as soon as you're done, come to the bridge. We could use your help on the comms.
But the
All
comms
right.
are inoperable until we have restored power.
Well,
But I will do my best.
that may not have mattered, but if you restore power in 15 minutes, it's fine either way. If you don't, I can.
We all die. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Hurry up.
We're
18
still
minutes.
working, I assume. Yeah. See if you can find me some tea.
Tea. Well,
Yes, thirsty work.
okay, it will probably take me longer than 15 minutes to find and make you tea, but very well. Suppose I have nothing better to do. All right, I go off to look for the galley and make myself a pot of tea.
All right. Meanwhile, both 713 and 872 are heading in the same general direction. One with food and water, and one with weapons and ammo.
We all know what's more important. Hello, anyone? I know.
You know, in some times and places, they've used gunpowder as seasoning.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is whether we are in these times right now.
I mean, no, it's probably not fucking gunpowder. It's probably either magnets or smokeless powder. Either way, I wouldn't eat them.
Probably not.
So anyone's on the bridge?
104
is still on the bridge, and yes, 713 is right behind you.
104 is currently just kind of sitting there on the computer describing the day. She's doing a captain's log currently. And as you did you say you just walked in and said hello? Like,
Yeah,
food and,
yeah.
food and guns, you said, right?
I found a few toys.
She kind of looks back. That's not safe.
That's the whole point of these toys.
Sure. Why do you have so many?
Well, although it might not seem like we need them now, but it's better to have them at hand.
Sure, I guess that makes sense.
Do you think that you could handle that? And I'd reach out and give him the semi-auto pistol.
Kind of takes it, and you see she holds it very gingerly, kind of looks it over. In a last pinch situation, why not?
Well, you could, in case you see others, and if they feel a little bit more familiar with that, then feel free to hand it over. I see you're not that into self-defense.
Kind of takes the weapon and just will kind of tuck it into a into a belt. I'll take it, but as I said, I don't particularly want anything to come to blows. Even if we find something, I think we should be looking for peaceful resolutions.
The hell no! I mean, well, yeah, you're probably right, but sometimes it's a good solution.
Sure.
You said 713 standing, or like came in like right behind him.
Yeah, you can contribute.
Okay. Look, it doesn't matter. I don't think there's anybody on board that can cause us harm. But here, I brought you some supplies, and he like chucks a MRE and a water at her,
Sure.
and then he's like, he looks over at what's Vision's character guy?
872.
872. He looks over at 872 and he like shifts the basket towards him. Like, do you want anything? But he doesn't say anything verbally.
Well, how much food do we have on board? Do we know that?
We have what it looks like is a supply of MREs to keep us going, and the water is a little finicky right now, but we can get enough to keep ourselves going for a while. I mean, granted, we avoid crashing into the sun.
Okay, cool. No, I'm fine for now.
Yeah, you got about 2 months of food. That's perfectly fine. We'll run out of air and water first.
Oh, cool.
All right, I'm gonna go head to the engineering deck and see how they're doing. I believe that's up, right?
That's correct.
All right. Keep doing what you're doing here. And he just kind of awkwardly walks off.
I'd ask, hey, lady, do you actually need to be here right now?
Most of my ability seems to be talking with people. I'm just trying to figure things out right now. I'm not much use with a gun or a wrench.
Well, you know, I've found a few crew quarters that are actually locked and only available for people who probably live in there. So you might want to check it out.
That's not a terrible idea. Sure, I'll go and do that.
And I described the way to that place.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come there, then just try every door and one should open for you, probably.
Affirmative.
Do you mind if I come with you? Curious
sure.
to see what you might have in your room.
I guess your room was filled with weapons, right?
No, not well. Yes.
You seem like the type. Sure. She kind of finishes off the captain log, just kind of describing the day, saying we have no idea who we are. We're floating towards the sun, and we might die. And then, saves it as Captain Log 1 with the star date, and then she'll head out and go and look for the rooms.
Okay.
Do I see that it's a lock?
Do you see that it's a what?
Do I see the lock and what has been written in it?
Oh, I believe it was a verbal, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a verbal one, so you heard me.
Oh, nice.
You heard me.
Oh, cool. Then I also add, well, I think the sun will appreciate your message. if we will
Huh.
get burned.
If we survive, we can look back on it later.
I'd prefer not to look at this moment back.
Got to remember every moment in life, so you remember what you take for granted.
You guys are talking
Well,
as you're walking.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I have the feeling that I actually do like the not state of not remembering certain things.
Each their own, my friend. Just kind of gives him a soft smile and carries on.
Well. And after that, I kind of feel sad. And yeah. Don't know why, but I'm thinking about the picture in my room.
Do you describe that to me? Did you say you found the photo? You
No,
didn't,
no,
did you?
no. No, that's only my thoughts.
Hmm.
All right.
And I wouldn't say anything until we reach the room.
All right. 255 went back to the bridge or stuck around engineering to have things thrown at him.
I went to get some tea,
That's T.
Which
That's
I would-
right. T. Okay.
and then I don't know. I probably don't even find anything, but I'll come back to the bridge as soon as I get it.
You don't find any tea. There's plenty of water though. Well,
Great.
there's not plenty of water. There's sufficient water.
I'll go ahead and leave it for now because I'm not super thirsty.
Okay.
Then I'll come back to engineering and get stuff thrown at me.
Well, engineering is finished. By the time you get to the galley, and actually they finish while you're in the galley still.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Is there an intercom panel in engineering?
There is.
Is it active now?
It does appear to have power going to it.
Well, in that case, the android would activate it to see if it works.
It does not.
Alright, well, back to diagnostics in that case. Why is it not working?
There are some important parts that have been taken out. Internal comms will need about 500 credits or scrap worth of repairs. Until you can repair those, you're unable to use any internal ship communications.
Alright. The question, with the engine running, is my link more active than it was before?
Yes. You have
Alright.
engaged your link.
Do I know the time to impact?
You still need nav systems for that.
So those did not come online?
Oh, they're functional now, and they've got the power that they need. It just needs well, it needs a second to figure out what's going on. Everything is kind of powering up and activating, and I should actually describe across the entire ship, everybody that's on the ship, the lights are no longer as dim. Water pressure is still low. It seems more like a rationing mechanic than a power feature. But you're no longer facing the soft amber luminescence of we need power. And there is a light thrum that rumbles throughout the ship. It feels kind of comforting. Like that's what it should feel like.
Great. Well, it is comforting to know we might not be dying. Yeah, I'm rushing back to engineering to see if everyone's still there.
Okay.
Well, the android heads to the bridge.
Yeah, I'm heading to the bridge.
It was
Alright.
requested.
I will head to the bridge as soon as I figure out no one's there. Then
I will finish checking out the rest of the top section, armory and stuff like that.
and
Oh,
I
I
was just
I take the
flipping
pipe
over
with
to you.
me.
Okay, I was just flipping over to you, 713. You arrive at the armory, and it looks like it has been broken into. The door and lock governing access are damaged, as are all of the cases in which armor and weapons and even vac suits should be kept. There's
Completely bare.
Yep, there's nothing of value here. There's some glass shards, which are
Okay.
actually quite dangerous, because they're not, affixed to anything.
I'll kind of mental note now that I've toured most of the ship. I'm gonna close this door to this room.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I could still do that,
Yeah, you can.
and then I'll head back to the bridge.
And I shouldn't be so dramatic. They're probably not the dangerous kind of glass. It's more the transparent, but sturdy and not nearly as sharp when broken plastic kind of glass.
Transparent aluminum.
Yeah.
Transparasteel.
If only there was a word for that sort of thing. Oh yeah, plexiglass.
Yeah. No, this is a sci-fi universe, sir.
Hey, plexiglass is only for keeping whales in fish tanks, okay?
Well, in this case,
Right.
we have 5 whales and it's a kind of 140-meter fish tank.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Wow.
I've been watching my weight. Thank you very much.
Alright, so it sounds like everybody is heading back to the bridge now that there's the thrum of power beneath your feet and light above your head.
Okay.
Let's just kind of abstract that. Everybody's back on the bridge.
Okay.
There's a small supply of weapons for anyone that wants to arm themselves, and there is some food and water. Systems are powering up as you look around.
I give 872 back his pipe.
Great.
We have restored the system drive.
I see that.
It was very difficult. You are welcome.
Yeah.
I throw the pipe at the head of the person who gave it to me.
Whoa!
Please do not throw that. You may damage a system, and we really don't want that right now. Hold on. Can we get the ship moving? Perhaps into a stable orbit.
Gonna go up to the captain's desk and just kind of press some buttons and say, "Well, someone want to get in the driver's seat and try it?"
Yep, that's gonna need somebody who has better
Pilot.
than -1 in pilot.
Does anyone have pilot? I don't think anyone has pilot.
I don't
One of us
have
had
-1.
Yeah!
All right.
There is technically a pilot. It's not
Get in there.
a highly skilled pilot, but it is a skilled pilot.
It'll do for now.
And I don't know if you've noticed this. The way I do skills and checks like this is quite often looking at your skill score level, and if it's high enough, you're not needing to make a check. If it's something that, like, if this were something that would need pilot 1 to be able to accomplish, you'd need to make a check because you're reaching above what you already know. This is something that requires pilot 0, so technically anyone could get down onto the pilot's chair, punch
And
away
give
from
it
Navcom,
give it a go.
and give it a go, but your guy with pilot 0 doesn't even need to make the skill check.
I actually did have a question about that. How does that interact with my higher education focus that gives me the automatically succeed on things with less than 10 difficulty?
That was something with the specific skill. So your higher education should be like higher education medicine or higher education.
Right.
something.
Right.
Yeah, same basic way, in that if it's above your, let's say there's a medical situation that requires a heal check of 3, and you've got a heal skill of 2. I can say, all right, well, this is beyond your basic knowledge. You need to make a skill check, and then I sit there and say, it's going to be
Dex?
difficulty 10, and then I say,
Hello?
well, you succeed. Yep. Can you not hear me?
I didn't hear. No, I could not.
Okay.
I heard all of that.
Okay. I basically just said that it will interact with, if I decide that you do need to make a heal skill check, or doesn't even have to be heal, anything related to medical.
I still succeed if it's less than DC 10, even
Yes.
if my base skill wouldn't work.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, that's going to apply any time that I actually ask you to make a check. And I may
Good
even
to
take it
know.
into account sometimes when I would otherwise ask you to make a check, and just say, he's got this.
Got it. Okay, that's good to know then.
So your pilot Zero, who does not need to make a skill check, is able to very quickly.
So I probably am the last one that gets to the room. So when I see everybody like standing around
Mhm.
and nobody in the pilot's chair, I probably have another like intuition moment. Like I feel comfortable doing this, but not totally confident.
That sounds very accurate. Almost maybe grudging.
Ooh,
Yeah.
snack.
Mhm.
I take the food
So-
here.
Yeah. So when he notices nobody's taking that, well, I'll take a seat. I think it's coming back to me a little bit. I get a sense I kind of know what I'm doing.
Please, we just need to get it into a stable orbit. I think that should be enough for now.
Anywhere except for the big ball of fire. Got it.
Right.
All right.
Shit.
713 sits down, pulls up the system chart. You've got sensors are bringing in data. You know that there is a rocky planet in orbit around the sun. You're well past its orbit, obviously, and you've got about 2 hours before the amount of juice that can be provided to your to those vectored thrust nacelles, basically impulse power at this point. You've got about 2 hours before they will not be strong enough to resist the gravitational pull of this sun, and it's essentially doomsday unless you can come up with another plan at that point.
Okay. When the charts start coming up in front of me,
Mhm.
like I kind of look back to everyone. Do I have a chair or am I standing too?
You've got a chair. You've got a very
Okay.
comfy seat.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'll turn back to everyone. Does anybody have an idea where we should go? I'm gonna pull us out of this decaying orbit here, but I need a direction.
What are the local planets like? You got any?
I'll try and move that, either blow that screen up in front of me or move it to everybody's panels.
I'm gonna
I
sit down.
assume he can like share the panels so we all see the same one.
Yeah.
Or we can just look over his shoulder. Either way.
Yeah, it can be put up on one of the basically the main windows are panels.
Mhm.
Or
Oh,
kinda-
okay, yeah. I try and throw up specifics on the system around us as data is being collected.
We've got no scanners, right, guys?
They just came
So-
online.
Oh, you should probably scan the planet, see if it's got air. Head towards that.
Well, we should
So,
start.
as everybody's talking about what we should do and where we should go, like I start leveling off the ship so that it's not moving in that direction anymore, and I kind of just start bringing it out of the pull of the sun or the star.
When you start plugging in those trajectories, those calculations, those instructions, your panel warns you of low fuel. Generally, fuel is not a problem piloting from one place in a system to another. But you've been bled so dry, and your ship on such low power right now, and with the gravitational pull of the sun being pretty damn strong, you basically are going to have to commit to some
direction.
kind of maneuver. Do you want to just push directly against the sun, which will take a lot of fuel? Do you want to try and orbit the sun and then figure out where to go from there? Are you trying to slingshot?
Yeah, right now I just
Hold
want
on.
to stabilize us. So I won't try and leave or anything. I'll just stabilize our orbit so we're not decaying anymore.
Yeah. I have a question, Dex. Is it only that one rocky planet?
There's only that one rocky planet that is showing any signs of inhabitation.
All right. And if we get into a stable orbit, can we actually still get there, or will we need to figure something else out?
We haven't got the fuel.
Okay. Just get us into a stable orbit then.
We don't have a. We don't have a. What's it called? Fuel sink, do we?
Do not
We
have
are-
a fuel scoop.
Get us into a stable orbit. You, 291. Help me get the external comms online, please.
Okay.
All right.
Who was the pilot again?
I am doing it right now. I don't know if I'm the pilot.
What's your number?
713.
Okay. I'll look to 713. Right. I think our best bet is going to be. You're sitting in the pilot seat right now. Give me your best judgment. Do we have enough fuel to break away from orbit and hit the planet?
I'll start dealing with some calculations, and then what I'll do is I'll run a sort of a mock run. If I stabilize, then I wait till the planet is in perfect sync with our orbit, and then just leave the orbit to that planet. Would that be fuel efficient? Or if I try and use the sun's gravity to throw us towards the planet, would that be better and save us fuel? So.
Well, you run both those simulations. The stabilizing an orbit will take a bit of fuel because yes, you do have to work against the sun's gravity at this point. However, it is still more fuel efficient than just boosting against the sun. It leaves you with probably sufficient fuel to break away from the orbit. In fact, you know that it leaves you with sufficient fuel to break away from the orbit. It may not leave you with sufficient fuel to land safely. However, it will take 37 days for that particular orbit to coincide. Slingshot, you could. The computer brings back multiple scenarios of in increasing closeness to the sun, of it taking 16 days, 12 days, or 4 days.
None of those should be a problem. We do have the stasis pods still.
Is that a risk we're willing to take?
Hey, you engineering guys. Did you see whether we have that thing that ships have to refuel their ship at the sun? You know, I've heard about that. I do imagine.
Fuel scoop?
Whatever.
No.
Did you see whether our ship has it?
Our ship doesn't have a fuel scoop now.
Okay.
I think we're running off of gum and tape here, so I don't think we have anything.
So,
all right.
What's the calculations then? What are our options?
I relay those simulations that I ran back to the crew.
I didn't hear them.
Okay.
So
right.
basically 16 days down to 4 days if we slingshot and head towards the planet. But I think that's a little bit more
That's too risky.
cautious to our health.
Yeah.
And then I mean, if I had you guys helping me with trajectory and stuff and timing, I probably might be able to do it. But
I don't think we should risk it. Worst comes to worst. I guess I'm just saying this as I'm trying to direct 291 to help me take the parts out of the tactical panel so we could put them back in the external comms. But I do not think we should take the risk. Worst comes to worst, we can put half the crew back into stasis for the time being. That should give us more than enough time to break away normally and make the trip to whatever that planet is slowly.
Do we know if the planet has air?
Ship data, preliminary data, is limited because you're not in the same region of the planet, but it is a it is registering as a habitable rocky Earth-like planet.
Okay, it's got air. It means it's possibly got life.
It'll have to do. Help me get these comms up quickly. We'll try to get broadcasts going.
What about the rest of you? What do you guys think?
104
Should we
is
risk
very-
it?
Yeah, 104 is very clearly in deep thought right now. She's kind of got her elbows on the desk and she's like rubbing her forehead.
One of the trajectories I ran was half the time, a little less risk. I'm okay with that one. I
How
think
long
I can
would that
pull
take?
that one off.
Are any of these going to allow us to land?
Dex?
The yeah, the 8 and the 12 and the 16 will allow you to land fairly safely. The 12 is really pushing and is hoping that the fuel, whatever the fuel is, that the vapors of it hit the engines right and give you enough oomph to safely land. The 4 is just kind of crashing into the planet at an angle that you hope will not destroy the ship.
Oh yeah, litho braking. I always love doing that in Kerbal Space Program. Guess
Right?
what the effects usually are?
I think we should
I
probably
would
do
point
one that
out
allows
that
us to
going
land.
into stasis carries the risk of further malfunctions.
Mm,
I am not sure
So-
I am able to revive the crew.
16 days then is the
I-
safest bet.
We can't
Yes.
survive for that long.
Well, no. If we put some of the crew back into stasis, it will not be a problem.
The stasis has malfunctioned once already. What says it won't again?
It might, but I am
The ship
confident
itself
that
is
we will be able to.
malfunctioning.
I am confident that whatever problem arises, I can deal with.
And who should be the people put into stasis?
Who is the well? Who is the
He's-
who is the least necessary member of the crew?
I look directly at him.
The doctor, of course. You're right. The only one with medical expertise and the ability to revive you if something goes wrong.
Actually, I think that he's right. We should put you in there.
No, not the
I look-
engineer.
I look to the person with all the guns.
And as I see that he's looking at me, I point one gun in his direction.
It. No.
Oh, great.
No, they're right. You will probably be the best choice to go back into stasis for the time being.
Android, you don't use any air, right?
I do not require any life support. So
Oh, we
if you
should-
wish to turn off the life support, I can operate the ship.
No, unfortunately. Don't take this personally. I don't trust you to do that. AI is a scary thing.
I
Hey,
am an android.
Cube.
I second that.
I
Dex.
don't think we. Yeah. Correct.
On the-
We shouldn't turn off. We shouldn't send everyone back into stasis. Let's see.
Hey, Dex.
Eight's.
Yes.
Can I start working on the engineering panel to see how much of this water we could turn into air?
Oh, sorry. That was a different question that I was expecting to answer. To determine how much what?
Because we got 36 days of water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Only
if you
15
can.
days of air. Can we just do hydrolysis?
Yeah,
No,
that's
you're-
actually a good question.
Your not hydroponics. Your life support is already factoring that in.
Okay.
Oh, shit. All right.
That's unfortunate. In that case, yes, I maintain that sending 872 and possibly 713 is our pilot. We don't want to send them back. 872 and possibly 104 are the most likely candidates for putting back into stasis. Under the
Will that give us
circumstances.
enough time, though?
16. It'll give us more than 16 days.
Can't we just breathe less?
I look at 104.
You see, 104 is probably looking like they're sweating as they've already been breathing less. They've
That's
been
shallow
I'll
rationing.
tell you what.
I
Let me
am.
get us on course, and then you could put me in the bubble again.
Well, we need you to land.
Well,
Yeah, just wake me up before we get there.
no,
We'll
that's
just go
actually
play
a
with
good
the
point.
buttons.
That is actually a very terrific point.
If we have 3 people down, 1.5 people up, that half not using air, we should be fine.
It makes sense.
All right,
I'll-
I'll start working on getting us on the proper trajectory.
All right.
GM.
291, help get back to helping me with this panel, please. We'll need to start broadcasting if we want any hope of existence.
Before we go with this plan, I'm gonna go check out the stasis tubes and make sure that somebody will come back out of them if we put them in there.
Yes, please do that. It's going to take me a moment anyway to get this aligned.
I wish to, if possible, make a connect roll and just kind of look around the group and just kind of see how everyone is. I want to just basically check how everyone's doing. If that's a possible thing I could do.
Okay. That actually
Would
sounds...
that be?
That sounds like a fair justification for using Connect. Normally that would be Notice, but this would be Connect and Wisdom.
Okay.
And keep in mind that as with any kind of psychic use against other player characters, skill use is... It always needs to be... what's the word? Cooperative between the players. So... you know, you'll say what you're doing, and then I'll interpret the results as, you know, this is a pretty good read, this is a poor read, and then let the other characters interpret how that comes out of their characters. And that's a pretty good read. So
Yeah.
let's go around the table and each character that's present just kind of give 104 an idea of what they're presenting as a state of mind.
So 255, how are you?
Actually, now that we've got everything working again, he was fairly calm before, but now he's focused, determined to just get those necessary tasks that he sees as important to their survival done, and then get everyone who needs to go in stasis into stasis. So he's doing fine, calm and firm.
Okay. 713.
Water.
Sorry, hold on one second.
Okay, I'll come back around. 291, how are you doing?
Fine, I guess. A little bit weirded out by the fact that somebody wants to put me back in a bubble.
No, you're not the one going in the bubble. We need you out here.
Wait, so who's going in the bubble?
But I'm very confused about the plan.
104, 713, and 872.
Yeah, we need the engineering and medical people out here in case there are any problems.
Shouldn't the medical people be woken up in case there would be problems?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I think he's staying up
Right.
in case there's problems. Yeah.
And 872.
You see some tension in his face. He's obviously very unhappy to go back, but he sees the urgency and yeah.
I'll go to 872 and just kind of pat him on the shoulder and say, listen, we can get through this. I ain't going to let anyone die, okay? Don't worry. Just kind of console him a little, make him feel a bit better if possible. Reassure. I'm just going to reassure people, pretty much.
713 is, it seems like he's like in his element. Like he is almost sort of enjoying it, but there is a sense of like, maybe like a nervousness but not on performing the duties that he's trying to do, but more of just like letting people down.
Okay. I kind of go to 713 and also console him, and just kind of say, you'll do a good job. Don't worry. I believe in you. You've got my full support. Give him a
Alright,
friendly smile
Doc.
again.
Let's get going. Let's go to sleep again. But before, let's meet at this place. I'll just store my toys back in my room.
You can go ahead and do that on your own. I'm going to make. Shoot. 291's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah, 291 is on her way to the station pods to check him out.
Okay. You there, android. Help me finish getting the external comms set up. Then I'll go make sure the others get into bed.
Okay.
I want to head to the rooms on the way back. I just want to quickly check on kind of memorabilia. As 104, while she's not showing it, is worried this is the last time she's ever going to be awake.
Alright. Let's do 291. Actually, there's other people coming. Let's do the tactical cannibalization of the tactical station real quick. So, Android and 255 are looking at the tactical station, tactical console, and have determined that without weapons, the tactical system is not all that useful. It does also govern defenses, but your guys' options if you were to be attacked are to more or less run away. So,
and frankly, without more powerful or better fixed engines anyway, that's not much of an option. Without fuel and better engines anyway.
what were you saying, Nick?
Or die.
Yeah.
Or die.
Yeah, there's always an option when you get into a space battle. So just so you know, mechanically, removing the tactical station will prevent you from obtaining a target lock, which means you can't actually target any weapons. Again, not a big point right now because there are no online weapons. It also, and I've never actually had to think about this, so thank you guys. It also should affect how you are able to defend. Oops. Interesting. How you're able to defend against any kind of incoming attack. Without tactics, your system just is not able to make the necessary calculations and other jargon that it needs to properly engage in space combat, offensively or defensively.
Until we get fuel and repairs done, neither of those is going to matter much.
And that makes sense. So your target goal is, I believe, 2,000 credits worth of functional parts that can go into the external comms. You're going to get that. The fix roll is going to determine how much you'll have to put back into the tactical systems to get them back up and repaired. And keeping in mind, there's already 5,000 worth of repairs needed on them. So you are going to be scrounging out the very last little bits that somebody didn't recognize as being helpful, or that maybe are valuable, or maybe aren't valuable but are useful for your situation.
I'm sorry, real quick. Can I butt in real quick?
Yeah.
Was the bridge cannibalized?
Much of it.
No, the bridge was not cannibalized.
Oh.
The repairs that are needed now that the Android is looking at it, the repairs that are needed on the comms and the tactical system and the other stuff that's in the bridge is actually from, well, it looks like from a bad spike drill.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Actually, if the Android runs the calculations, would it make more sense instead of wasting a perfectly good bridge to take the parts from the cargo lighter system?
The cargo lighter system isn't going to have the kind of communications and calculation tools that you'll need. You may be able to scrounge it from multiple Android charging stations.
Well, I'm the only android on board. I only need one.
There are other things. I'm just saying that as an example, but specifically saying no to the cargo lighter state.
Okay. Well, but if you run the calculations, there would be other, let's say, less vital systems.
I mean, technically, this isn't
number.
vital at all, but yeah, if that's,
It'll take more time.
well, we've got half a month. All right, let's go get them then. Will she still need to do a fix check?
Yeah, the fix check is still to just to see how much more you're adding onto your bill. This is definitely not going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Can I use? Can I do like a program roll to assist her and give her, as a help thing?
Yeah, I'd allow that.
All right. So doing this as a help roll.
Yep. I can't tell you what the difficulty is because this is a scaling difficulty.
Yeah, that's the one thing I dislike about Chris's games. I don't like to know what the actual difficulty thing is.
Oh, that's funny because I actually like to tell the difficulty so that so you know how the character feels about his odds of success.
Well, I'm fine with knowing how hard something will be. I don't like to know an exact number.
Okay, that's fair.
Because personally, as a DM, I do fudge things a little. So, all right, I got an 8.
All right, let's see what the android gets on that fix.
Infix?
Yes, please.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, the spirit of Colleen is with me.
So 12, possibly 13.
That is a good result. You're able to cannibalize other systems throughout the ship. We don't need to go into specifics of it, but we'll say that at least one Android charging station is non-functional.
So is the toilet system.
All right, one Android charging station and the entire ship's toilet system.
This may have been a bad idea.
Seems more like a shit idea to me.
Now we're all going to be party poopers.
There is.
Well, you know what? This ship was a piece of shit anyway.
All of a sudden, it seems like a good idea to sleep.
Yeah, probably. Nick, there were 2 Android charging stations right outside the bridge, so one of those is left intact still.
All right.
Alright. Let me just note down the roll so I can figure out how much extra. And you have your you have the equivalent of 2,000 that were needed for those repairs. You've got the components and pieces that will repair the external comms.
Okay. If you want to get those fixed, I'll start getting people into stasis. Android?
Okay.
Alright, I nod and start heading off for the stasis chamber to get everything prepped.
Alright. Repairing the external comms will also not require any kind of skill check. Android has a fix of 1. And this is fairly mundane work. If you're trying to program them, obviously that would be higher, but you're just putting pieces
Android also has program, so
you're just putting pieces in. Let's follow. I believe I'm forgetting somebody here. 291 has gone to check on the stasis pods. Are they still functional? Is this all for nothing?
Mm-hmm. So when I walk in, first I check the other ones, like the ones that nobody came out of.
Okay. So there are 7 that nobody came out of. 3 of those appear to have had somebody in them, and those people were removed recently-ish in the grand scale of things, and 4 of them basically look like they've never ever been used.
Okay. I boot up a couple of the ones that have never been used.
Okay. They run through initial system diagnostics, startup phase, check all pressure levels, fluid levels, and energy levels, and they report functional and operative.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go around and check all of them. What the heck?
Okay. Well, all 4 of the never used are fine. The 3 that were more recently removed that you guys didn't come out of, they report a maintenance error.
Okay.
And the error is the same on all of them. Basically, somebody was removed, and the system wasn't put into a clean cycle.
Gotcha. Is there any way to activate a clean cycle?
There is. And
Will it?
The 5 that you came out of are also basically flashing clean cycle needed. It's not showing that there would be an error, but it is prompting a clean cycle.
Does it say what would be involved in it? Like, is this gonna eat a bunch of our water?
It does not tell you what's involved.
All right, yeah, we're gonna put you guys in some fresh tubes. Shoot, I don't have a pen or anything. Do the designations, like, are they taped on or something? Can I, like, peel them off?
No, they're
put them on some different tubes.
They're full on etched on there.
Dang. Want to forget who the people are.
You want a Sharpie?
Yeah. Well, I was like, man, I wonder if I'd have a Sharpie, but everything else was stolen off this ship, so they probably took all our Sharpies.
Yeah, they're one of the more valuable pieces of equipment. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Along with all the duct tape.
Yeah. And the WD-40.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, as long as they seem like they'll be working.
Okay.
Can I investigate deeper than the automatic? Like the automatic diagnosis? Like, can I?
You can. What would you like to know?
I really want to make sure that the people I put into these things are coming back out.
Yes. 291 can manually inspect the data on which the all clear report is given.
Okay.
That's going to be.
I also want to make sure that there's none of that setting for 100 years and nothing weird.
That's fair.
I want these people to go down for 14 days and then come right back up.
So that's going to be a pair of rolls. I actually do want 2 rolls from you. One will be fix int, and the other will be program int.
Okay. There's the fix. And there's the program.
So, they're not entirely familiar with the numbers that are being reported. The system is saying that everything is all clear, and you're looking at the levels that it's reporting, but they're not familiar to you. They don't drive as, oh, it's right, or oh, it's wrong.
Okay. Does it at least match up with, like, when I visually inspect it? Does the tube have that much stuff in it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
As for making sure that nobody will fall asleep for 100 years, the strange backdoor programming that you found in the other tubes is present in these as well.
How can there be a back door? I'm talking to myself. How can there be a back door? There's no, like, they're not hooked up to anything. and I want to inspect and see if there's like how this back door is even possible.
You're only seeing traces of it. It is incredibly well hidden.
Hmm.
And I think that is a perfect cliffhanger to drop today's session on.